Who's in here? Happy hump day, everybody. Happy hump day. Let me see. Let me get a few of you guys in the chat first. I want to see who's gonna come in to the chat. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Hold on. Ain't nobody in the chat yet. Who's in the chat? As you guys come in, say what's up. Come on. Who's in the chat? All right. Right. Happy hump day.
You're a staffing firm with a weight of running a business.
Happy hump day, everybody. I'm gonna wait till a few people come into the chat first before I start talking with you guys. But what's going on, Steve? What's up? What's going on, Howdy? Matter of fact, I'm gonna just jump right into it for my boy Steve here, because he's first in the chat. If you do a tune on your Q50 with intake and exhaust, is it recommended to upgrade the intercooler or the heat exchanger? Yes. Once you get tuned, you're gonna start to heat soak a lot quicker, because when you turn up the boost, that's hotter air from the turbos, which means it heats up the coolant in your heat exchanger system. And when you have a larger heat exchanger, you have more consistent temperatures, which will stay lower, which means you'll have consistent power. So yes, you have to get an upgraded heat exchanger, or you can get a fender coolant kit from like AMS. It's like an auxiliary kit that literally just has like 2 to 3 gallons of coolant. So definitely look into getting that. What's going on, Howdy? All right, how you doing? Feeling amazing. Khalid, what's going on? Your first thing, Khalid. Shout out to you, man. You're always like first on all the videos. You comment first, man. I appreciate you just commenting and definitely jumping in when you can. Let me see who else is in here. Give me a second, guys. I want to see who. Okay, cool. So what happened with those RT turbos? Congrats. Yeah, I still have the RT turbos. They're here. They've been here for quite a while, but like I stated in the video, I'm not gonna be installing them yet. So we're gonna give some time on that getting installed. Outside's not back open yet. Basically, I'm in Brooklyn, New York, so unfortunately, a lot of stuff is still closed, and I'm probably gonna give it about 2-3 months before I install it. So I'm aiming for probably June, July. Okay, let me see who else is in the chat. Johnny, what's going on? What would you recommend the first upgrade if I should do a Q50 3.7? Depends on your performance. I don't know what you exactly want to do, Johnny. Do you want to do performance? Do you want to do luxe? It's really up to you. But I do have videos about this stuff already out. Just want to let you know, Johnny. But just rephrase what you mean. The first modification, I would assume. All right. Let me get a few people else in the chat. Which one of you like driving better, the G37 or the Q50? I would say the Q50 3.0T because it's faster. That's really honestly it. My regular Q50 3.7 was fun. I like to beat on it, but it just didn't have the power. When you talk about ride comfort, it's completely different because I never keep my car's suspension stock, so I can't really give you the opinion there. Okay, Howdy says, Boost, how are you liking the NAVIKS Android unit? I'm gonna get rid of it, bro. I'm gonna end up taking it out. I don't use it barely at all. There's way better kits out there now within the last few months, sold by a few different companies that seem way better. So I'm probably gonna end up just yanking it out and maybe selling it or giving it away. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet with it. Okay, Zach, what's going on? Okay, what's up, Boost? Enjoy your videos. Appreciate you very much, Garcia. Thank you, man. Okay, Damon. Oh, yo, what's good? Hope everything's good going, bro. Yep, everything's going good, man. It's Wednesday. Brooklyn, New York, just chilling, relaxing, and I'm gonna be on this live for probably the next 2-3 hours, just seeing who comes in and want to just chat with me, and I'm gonna answer you guys' questions. It's just the best thing I can do. A lot of you guys have a lot of questions, and there's only a few people out there on this platform that can really answer a lot of it. I'm just one of the few guys that's fortunate enough to actually have a YouTube to answer you guys' questions. You can also add Speed Cultures too. He has a Q50 3.7 Speed Cultures. He'll answer a lot of your questions too. Okay. Okay. Wait, hold on. What's good? Wait. Okay. What are some better kits than NAVIKS? Damon, I actually don't. Damon, I actually don't have the name of them, but you can join the Q50 Q60 group on Facebook. There's a few people selling their units and/or off brands. The Phoenix brand looks actually really good. The Tesla style one, they finally seem like they had so much revisions that they got it right. So that unit is really good, and it replaces the whole center console. Okay, Infinity, good global power. I like the car. Thank you, man. Appreciate that, Pardo. Really appreciate that. Brian, VQ meets. At this current moment, no, there's no VQ meets because everything's on lockdown. So we got a social distance. Steve, what do you think about the catch cans? I still have the catch cans on my car for my 3.0T. If your car is financed, I would recommend getting it. For your 3.0T. If it's leased, don't even waste your money on it. It's their car. Don't worry about it. If they ain't put a catch can, don't worry about it. But if it's your car and you're financing, definitely do it. Okay, Q50 GS. What's going on, Boost? All right, what's going on, Peck? Johnny, Boost, do you know if the base Q50S can get the sport Q50 bumpers? Yes, I came out with a video on that. I think I did. You can swap the bumpers out really easy. It's very simple. You can go on eBay or Amazon. They sell these these bumpers, or you can buy from like Z1 Motorsports or Concept Z. All you have to do is change the bumpers, and usually these kits come with the bottom grill and the fog light inserts. But the fog lights swap right over, the turnstiles swap right over. And if you go into the 2018 and up bumpers, you have to swap over the grill. You get a new grill too. Okay, what's going on, James? How are you, man? I appreciate you, man. Definitely, always in the chat, always talking to me, always say what's up, man. Appreciate you. What's the current numbers? Well, I'm tuned by AMS, so I should be right around 440 to 460 wheel horsepower. So that should be my current spectrum on how much my car makes. Let me see. Can't wait to get my Q50 back from the Infiniti dealership. It's been almost 2 years. Wait, what? Wait. Get your Q50 back from the Infiniti dealership? It's been almost 2 years. What do you mean? Oh, 2 weeks. Okay, I'm about to say, like, how do your car sit at the dealership for 2 years? Okay, what's your current opinion on intakes? I know some people are against it, etc. for a while. It really depends. I believe that that both cars, the 3.7 and the Q50 3.7 and the Q50 3.0T, the only intakes that they really make that are good to me, from what I can see, dyno proven, is the Takedas for the 3.7 and the AMS for the 3.0T. Now, the Takedas for the 3.0T looks promising, but I haven't seen any dyno results. And I just don't like the open engine bay air filters. I just hate that because they heat up and they suck in a lot of air. And hot air for the 3.7 is a no-go. And hot air for a 3.0T, not saying it's not really a no-go because it still goes into a turbocharger that spins it hotter, but usually when it's still cooler ambient air, you still have a cooler air charge. So that's why I recommend always have the closed intake systems. All right. Let me see. Okay, bro, have you seen that one guy on Facebook group who's coming out with a port injection manifold? Yeah. That's not a guy, that's an actual company. They make a larger metal oil pans for our 3.0T because we have plastic 3.0 oil pans. So they actually make larger oil pans for the 3.0T, which is actually a good upgrade. They have the meth injection the manifold, and they're gonna come out with a few other things for the car. I forgot what else. They made something else for the car. I just can't remember what it is right now. But yeah, that's a good company. That company's been around for quite a while, and we don't have much support, so it's definitely cool that he's out. James, okay, Keith, what's up, Boost? What size low downpipe should I install on my 19 redsport? Dude, most of them are 2.5-inch, brother. I believe AMS makes a 2.5-inch to 3-inch taper design, but it's not like a true 3-inch. So like right from the bracket on up, the pipe starts to taper off to a 3-inch, and then it tapers back off into a 2.5-inch. I could be wrong, but I don't think anybody has a real true 3-inch lower downpipe at this current moment. But yeah, just go with the 2.5-inch. It's just so simple and easy, and it's way more affordable. Okay, Zach, what do you think about tires? I'm thinking about Michelin Pilot Super Sport AS3s. I do need some good tires for wet traction. Live in Louisiana. Sport AS3s are really good tires, good all-season tires. I believe their mileage warranty is like 50,000 miles. But if you're looking for performance, like let's say you're going to do drag racing or anything like that, don't go with all-season tires. You're going to need a specific drag tire for that or a summer tire. But for the good old season tire, I have no problems with the Pilot Sport AS3s. AMS intake don't do much for sound. Yes, and Marty, he said the AMS intakes don't does anything for sound. You're right, because it's an enclosed system. Some people want to hear their intakes, but just know that in daily driving, you're going to be sucking in hot air. I'd rather the performance and rather than the trade-off for sound. That's just honestly me. I'd rather have a quiet, fast car than a loud, slow car. That's just my opinion. Just saying. Okay, I know David Grant. Okay, cool. Yep. Okay, cool. Guys, just bear with me. What's going on, Anthony? What's going on? All right. Accord 6 and 6 vibes. What's going on, man? All right. Winner. What's up? Is my boy Winner. Yeah, this is some good juice right here. It's happy hour somewhere, and you know, happy hour isn't open anymore for a while. So this is one of those days. So the intercooler would be, wait, I missed a Hunter. I'm 14 right now. Birthday is in October. By the time I'm 16, what do you think the 3.0T would cost? At this current moment, Hunter, the 3.0T is going to probably be in high teens, probably between $16,000 and $19,000, because you could get a 2016, from what I can see, the lowest from a dealership is probably like 21, 20,000. So in another year or two, those cars are going to be in their high teens, maybe even lower. So we'll see what happens, but it's going to be really affordable. Okay, so the intercooler will be a better idea if I want to keep the engine bay cooler. I was planning to go with 3 main changes: intakes, intercooler, and heat exchanger. Well, this intercooler that you're really saying, it's a heat exchanger and/or radiator. That's all it is. You already have the air to water intercoolers that sit on top of the engine bay, those 2 big squares. The little radiator, the heat exchanger, that sits in front of the bumper, and that's what pretty much transport the hot coolant into it, cool it out, and then goes back into the air to water heat intercoolers. So you don't make the engine bay cooler. You just like you have engine coolant for the motor itself, you have a separate coolant system for the air charge, or pretty much from the turbos. The turbos, you know, they spin up and they shoot hot air into the engine. Now you don't want this air too hot, so it goes through this air to water intercoolers, but you know, through that heat transfer, the coolant gets hotter and hotter. So you got to change that coolant out, and that's what the heat exchanger is for. So you add more coolant to the system, and it allows you to keep the consistent temps down, because you mitigate it because you add more coolant to the system. So that's all it is, just a larger heat exchanger and/or radiator. That's all it really is. What exhaust do you recommend? How about ARC? ARC sounds pretty fine. Anything with CATBACK exhaust, guys, you asked me about, I'm always going to sit there and say, go on YouTube and look up the sounds, and if you enjoy it. Most CATBACK systems are going to give you the same amount of performance. There's no CATBACK system is going to be better than the next. The only thing it's going to come down to is sound and build quality. That's honestly it. And price too. Anthony Garcia, I'm waiting for the Fast Intentions CATBACK. Can't wait for it. Yeah, Fast Intentions sounds good. Johnny Boost, what type of exhaust mod do you think would be best for 3.7? The test pipes. If you watch my videos, guys, I always said it. The best modification and performance is test pipes for the 3.7. That's it. You guys gotta watch my videos, man. I literally came out with that video probably last week. Can I do anything to the 2.0T? Yes, at Meyer. Yes, you definitely can. They do sell a JB4 for the 2.0T and a race chip. It's pretty much a boost controller, and you can turn up the boost, so you make it a bit quicker. There is, I think, 1 or 2 companies that make downpipes for the 2.0T and a CATBACK exhaust. So you do have breather modifications that you can do for the car. So definitely look into that. You can just Google it, and it'll just pop right up. Garcia, is the strut tower bar worth it? It's relatively cheap. I don't see why you don't want to get it. It's like under $100, and it does change it up the handling a bit, but it's one of those accessory mods that you add with like drop springs and/or coilovers, and you know, with tires and stuff. It just stiffens up the suspension and the body roll. That's it. But it's not. But alone by itself, it's not going to do much. But with an accessory, it does better. The company I have is the MEGEN ones. I had the Cusco, or CUSCO. I had that one. Shout out to Winner for letting me have that. I didn't like it. It was very thin. You could bend it by hand. And the Tanambi was too thin. I didn't like the brackets. The brackets were too thin. So even though the MEGEN strut bar is I don't like the design of the brackets. It's the most stiffest one that I've tested on my car. Q50 redsport. What difference between? What difference between? I know the difference of horsepower, but someone told me it's crank difference. Oh wait. So I want to know what exactly the difference is. Okay, so I guess you're asking what's the difference between a redsport and a regular 3.0T? One, the tune from factory, 100 more horsepower. Two, the differential, the final drive is a little bit shorter, so that should aid it in a little bit of acceleration. Three, it has an extra water pump from factory for the heat exchangers, not for the engine, for the heat exchangers. So it uses 2 water pumps for the heat exchanger system, and that's about it. And then also the visual mods on the interior. I don't see 3.0Ts with diamond stitch leather. That's it. Other people are gonna jump in and say, "Oh, it's a red sport. That's it, a red S." But there's really no difference. You still get the you still get the Sport Plus mode in a 3.0T Sport. You still get the Sport bumper, Sport everything. Everything is still the same. You still get the same suspension and all that. Okay, and that's it. That's all the differences. James, recommendation for good CATBACK. I'm not gonna, like James, I'm not gonna recommend CATBACK for you, bro. Like, just look into the different brands that are out there and do the sound clip, because all they are is sound and build quality. That's it. But Fast Intention is definitely good, and you can go Resonate. I'll be ordering MEGEN low downpipe soon. Okay, setup. Garcia, what's up, Boost? I have a JB4 filters, AXLEBACK. What should I do next for performance? A CATBACK exhaust. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need a CATBACK exhaust. So look into it. You got an AXLEBACK. So what I did, because I had an AXLEBACK too, I just purchased the Rev 9 YPIPE and MIDPIPE, and that finished off my exhaust. They're the only company right now next to TUNING that makes a YPIPE MIDPIPE combo that can bolt up to pretty much every setup that we have. Okay, Keith Butler says, okay, cool. Hey, Boost, what's going on, T-Bone? James, okay, I want to keep it loud. Oh, when I get all the bolt-ons I need to come down to, you need to come down to Atlanta. I need you to come to Atlanta so that we can take all these brothers and their kitties soon. I don't think I can really roll race a modified Hell Kitties, but definitely do dig races versus them, and maybe slower mile-an-hour roll races, but Hellcats are fast. I just want you guys to know that. I'm talking my shiznit on these videos, but Hellcats are really fast. I just want you guys to know that. Okay, Park. I own a 2015 Q50 Black S. It makes me feel wait, Parks, is that you? I'll tell you, okay, because then I have to explain. Should I upgrade to a 2017 Q60? If you're enjoying your Q60, bro, G37, enjoy it. It's a very low maintenance car. If you are happy in modifying it, do so. But if you know that you really want to have a car that could compete with faster cars out there, and you don't really want to leave the Nissan Infiniti community, other than a GTR, a Q60 is relatively cheap. I did a video on it, guys. Check my channel, breaking down the cost of a Q60 2017 versus getting the lowest price GTR. Both. The Q60 was a 2017 3.0T premium. It was like $21,000. The cheapest GTR was about $42,000. When you modify the 3.0T with all the bolt-ons, and even if you want to go on E, you'll make way more power. You'll make power as much as a 93 tune or damn the E85 tune GTR. And you can literally buy two Q60s for the price of one GTR. I'm just saying, one car looks better to me too, the Q60. So it's really up to you, but that's what I would recommend if you're aiming for power. I feel like I was on that a little too long. Peck, I know you're into not into meth, but would you say it's the best system? What is the best system? I honestly wouldn't know. I think Snow Performance, and it's like Burger Tuning sells their own meth kit too for our platform. So I would go with companies that made kits for our platform already rather than a universal kit. But I believe Burger Tuning and Snow Performance. But I could be wrong. Okay, cool. Okay, okay. Are blower valve filters necessary? Well, I can't say they're necessary, but I can say they're necessary. I'm gonna say it on video. If you have a finance 3.0T, get blower valves, because it's a safeguard. It's definitely a safeguard. It releases the excess boost, and it puts less strain on your turbos. But as per AMS, they said they don't care about it. They don't think that the system needs it. I don't see a problem in it. If you have a lease, don't give a shit. Okay, that's it. Don't give a shit. If Nissan Infiniti did not put blow valves from the system for your lease Q50, Q60, don't care. That's it. Don't put your money to other car parts. Let them deal with the problem. Okay. Okay. 1 second, guys. You was talking about RGM making the GT25 turbo kit for 3 point. How to contact them and how they made this kit. Yeah, I think I made a video on the RGM, but they renamed their company. I forgot to change the company, the name of the video, but they renamed their company to something else now. I think it's Drop Pearls or something like that. But they did definitely change the name of their company. But I don't know when they're going to be finished with their turbo kit because they're building the manifolds. Mel, what's up, Boost? Can you take me the average cost labor to a full high flow cat versus lower downpipe? The price is gonna be different. I made a video on that too. I made a video on a lot of stuff you guys asked me. I literally, if you just type in boostinmotion and then put whatever you're looking for, it'll come up. I made a video on the prices of for pretty much like full downpipe or high flow cats for the 3.0T, and they're expensive. You're looking at more than $1,000 for high flow full downpipes versus just in this case a lower downpipe. It's expensive. It's really expensive. You're literally comparing $1,000 full catted downpipe to, I think it's even more than that. I'm sorry, it might be like $1,300. I think the Z1 Motorsports one versus a lower downpipe for $150. There's a reason why I have MEGENs on my car. I don't see the sense in spending all that extra money for a little bit of more top end for depending on your tune, because the tuner could pretty much, you could run, it just pushes your peak wheel horsepower a little bit higher when you have full downpipes, and you might gain a little bit more wheel horsepower. That's what I see from dynos. But if it's really the cost that the direction you want to go, we're talking about $1,000 versus $150. It's a big difference there. So it's up to you, man. Stillman advertises their intake and exhaust system adds 45. How true do you think this is? I got it and felt a difference, but not sure if it was much. Zach, if you have a 3.0T or even if you have a 3.7, all that happens is if you have a 3.7 NA, this just makes it easier for your engine to pump the exhaust quicker out of the car. So pretty much it's just you release some of the bottleneck in the system. Now, if you have a 3.0T, it just allows your turbos to spool up quicker. So you'll get your peak torque a lot lower in your RPM range. So let's say you had peak torque, let's say at 2,500. Now, if you add a catback exhaust, it may drop down a little bit lower because the turbines could spool up faster to their boost targets. And some people, as people say, it's kind of like a boost spike a little bit, but not really if it's just a catback. But yes, it does add more top end power and or peak numbers. So you will feel a change, but you don't feel the most change unless you get a full-fledged tune. Okay, let me see what else you said. Okay, cool. Hellcats need driver mod. Okay. Thank you to give me solutions. So I'm going to jump for the redsport. So what? Okay, 550 wheel horsepower. Please tell me what I need to upgrade. Okay, so you want a redsport. I'm not going to try to tell you not to get a redsport because you want to get it, but this is why I keep saying people shouldn't get the redsport, because if you're going to modify the car, you're literally spending extra money because the motor and transmission, everything's the same. But anyways, let's talk about the redsport. You're going to have to run E. You have two options. You can either run E on upgraded fuel system. This is E85 on an upgraded fuel system, high pressure fuel pump, low pressure fuel pump, flex fuel kit, bolt-ons, of course, low downpipes, exhaust, and a tune. Or you can do another option is you can choose to change out the turbos. So reason why I'm saying that is turbos are like $2,500. The fuel system is going to be like $3,000. Literally, the fuel system is going to be like $1,400 for the low high pressure fuel pump, another $200 for low pressure fuel pump, another $500 for the flex fuel kit. That's like $2,300. That's the price of two turbos. Or you can go with turbos, the turbos, and get tuned on that. You'll make close to $5. You'll make like $510, $520 on 93. on stock fuel system. That's really up to you. But I have videos on my channel where I literally told you guys what you need to purchase to make a specific amount of wheel horsepower. So definitely put in boostinmotion, high 500 wheel horsepower, or performance modifications or something like that. It's gonna come up. Give me a second, guys. I gotta speed up here. All right. How much horsepower would a q60 redsport make with full down pipes and a tune? Right around 450, 460 wheel. That's the usual range. Anyone who has a 3.0 T on 93 right now, if you go full bolt-on with 4E, you're gonna make between 440 and 460 if you're on 93. A little bit lower if you're on 91. And if you're in a higher elevation, you're gonna make less because it's harder for the turbos to work at higher elevation. I gotta watch you live. Appreciate that, Derek, man. What's going on, man? I just saw you. You just hit me up. Let me see what else. Mentally and physically. Okay, cool. Greetings from Compton. What up, man? What's going on, Derek? All right. Steve retracted his comment. Okay. Peck, for burger tuning meth injection kit, do you need to tune JB4 because I'm on EMS Easter Egg Tech tune? No, you don't need the JB4 and the meth injection. Pretty much what that allows you to do is the JB4 controls when the meth injection gets released. That's all the JB4 and the meth injection did together. You don't need the JB4. You can probably just have it hooked up maybe on the, I don't know if you, I honestly don't know if you need JB4. I don't think AMS is probably going to tell you not to even use meth, because they're going to say, why do you want to use meth? It's not consistent. You know, you run out of meth at some point, so they may not want to give you a tune just for meth. They'll do it, but you know, what's the point? I would recommend, if you really care about intake charge, look into a killer chiller kit. Yes, I'm going to be I'm going to get a killer chiller kit. A killer chiller, all it does for people who's watching is it lowers the charge air coolant, pretty much the coolant in the heat exchanger system, to below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. It goes pretty cold. And you know what? The reason why that's good, because you won't heat so fast. That's why you want to do it. It runs off the stock AC system. So definitely look into the killer chiller unit. It is going to be expensive. It's about $700-800, maybe up to $1,000 for the unit. But you can use this all the time, compared to meth, where you got to keep refilling, and you got to get specifically tuned for it. No, it's much of a headache when you can just get the killer chiller. You don't have to get tuned for the killer chiller, because it's your charge air temps will always be cooler. So that's my recommendation. I'm gonna probably be working with killer chiller in the next up and coming weeks. So just let you guys know that. Check it out on their website. All right. I feel like I was just rambling there. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I hope you guys are doing good, man. I hope people that are watching, I hope you guys are doing good on a Wednesday. I got my little corny drink here. You guys got me for like the next hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm hanging out with you. All right, let me see what other questions you got here. I'm getting blowouts as soon as I get stage 3. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Rocky, what up, Boost? Oh, what's going on, Rocky? What's going on? Okay, that's your name on IG. Okay. COVID starter pack. Oh yeah, you got a yo. Rocky has literally bought almost every part for his Q50 before he got the Q50. I'm talking about he got drive shaft, turbos, a fuel system, everything. His car is literally going to come from stock to fully modified in probably under a month. This car is going to be insane. Okay, let me see. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I just wanted to see if I missed anything. When can we see the turbo install video? At Ally. It's going to be quite a while. I live in Brooklyn, New York. New York City is still in lockdown. And the shop that I'm working with, they're low staff right now. So until they're full staff, and so in all the dealerships and everything is open, I don't want to take on this task. I want this car to be able to go on the lift and get everything done. If you hear what I'm saying, I want everything done. I want to get every tweak, every nick. Like, I don't want to drive from there and have an oil leak, transmission leak. I don't want to have any. I want the whole system burped. I want everything to be good, because I don't want to have to bring that car back on the lift because of a loose bolt or a leak, if you know what I mean. So I'm assuming I would like to get these turbos changed out in June, latest July. That's my honest opinion. Oh, what's going on, Scrape? What's going on, man? 204. Yo, Boost, how much are those turbos you got after the core are returned? And how much is it installed going to cost roughly? Much love. Thanks for putting on your back, man. Listen, Scrap, I appreciate the gas money. I don't have a shot, but, you know, this is kind of a shot. The turbos were 2250 from RT Tuning. This is in Pennsylvania. RT Tuning. They charge about $800 for core charge if you don't have a red sport. And I think the red sport is like $1,000. So if you have a $1,000 core charge for like red sports, and I think $800 for the regular non-red sports. So pretty much once you you know, give them back the old turbos, you only pay $22.50 plus whatever taxes. That's probably gonna bring them up to like $2,400. Now I would say the install, depending on where you go, it's just what they charge to install certain parts. They have to drop the motor. So I would say roughly probably another $1,500 to install. It depends on the type of mechanic shop you go to. If you go to some place that charge a lot of money per hour for labor, it's going to be expensive. But if you go to someone who charges, let's say like $110, $100 an hour, it'll be a lot cheaper for you. So it's really up to you. So yeah, all in all, you could probably be in it like $3,500, $3,800, but it's up to you. I appreciate that, Scrap, man. I really do, and much love, man. And so thank you for that shot. If you got any questions, let me know. And also hit my DM at boostinmotion on IG if you got any other questions, bro. Wow, I feel like I missed some questions here, so let me go back. Bear with me. When are you going to Jacksonville meetup? I don't know about Jacksonville at Garcia. I highly doubt I'm gonna go to Jacksonville. Like Jacksonville, Florida. I doubt I'm gonna go there. I'm probably gonna go to lower Miami area, probably there. Maybe Orlando, but I'm not seeing myself going to Jacksonville. Bro, thanks. And that will probably be after outside open back up, because I can't book no flights until all these states open. I don't want to go to some of these places and yeah, guys still have a stay-at-home order, so nothing's open. I can't eat anywhere. I can't drink anywhere. I still want to meet you people. I don't want to socially distance from 2 houses away, you know. I may not give you guys pounds, but it's like, hey, what's going on, man? Nice to meet you, man. But anyways, thanks for answering my question, bro. Meant that. I appreciate that very much, man. Bradford White, what's going on? Sub Boost, the blue shirt with that hat. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Definitely check out the merch below. I have to change up the merch I sell below under these videos. I'm gonna go with a more cheaper brands because I am an affordable, cheap channel, but I tried to go with the best quality clothing because I don't want you guys to say, damn, man, even Boost t-shirts is cheap, you know. So, but I'm gonna go with a slightly cheaper brand. This is actually a Hanes brand sweater. So, but it's getting hot outside. I doubt any of you guys are gonna buy sweaters, so doubt that. But definitely appreciate all the people who purchased my merch. Okay, and shout out to Bradford White too. He has a channel for Ultima, so definitely check it out too on his channel. Okay, KZ, simple question, but how is quietness in the cabin? I'm confused what you mean by quietness. I'm sorry I didn't answer your question earlier. 2020 Q50, last of its kind. T-Bone, I was searching everywhere for the G25 kit and didn't know what company changed it. Didn't know the company changed their name and didn't even Okay, so I guess I gave you the backup to that. Yeah, but they changed the name, I think, to Drop Pearls or something like that. Zach, you think an anti-lag system is necessary for our cars? I don't think, honestly, I have no idea. Anti-lag systems are pretty much something, you know, pretty much using like Porsches and stuff. I don't see why they would use it on our cars. Our turbos are really small. I would only see it good as in the sense of surging the turbos so that when we're just doing roll racing, our cars can surge the turbos and then we could just take off rather than build up boost. But I don't see that as much of a reason to do with that, though. That's just my opinion. Okay, thanks, Boost. Okay, hey, Boost, I have a G37S and I have been debating between coilovers or new wheels. Stop saying rims, guys. It's wheels. When you want to get new wheels, it's new wheels. Rim is the edge of the wheel. Just want you guys to know that. Just like the glass, this is the rim of the glass. Okay? So just want to let you guys know that, all right? I don't want you guys out there looking crazy at car meet saying, those are nice rims. But What I would say, honestly, in my opinion, is I would get coilovers before getting wheels. Reason being is, you'll first you get to adjust the height. You could adjust the firmness of the car and see if you enjoy it, and then also then you can be able to measure the wheels you want to get. Because if you get wheels first, you're gonna try to put the wheels to fit the body of the car because it's stock. But then when you lower it, it usually changes the camber of the wheels, or the offset may not be as low, and now you're gonna have sunken wheels and not gonna be flush enough. So I would always recommend dropping the car first and then getting the wheels after, because you can be able to eyeball and test fit the wheels to see if they're flush with the car. That's my opinion. Your car is a red sport. My car is actually a 2018 3.0T Sport without the sport packaging. Yes, in 2018, Infiniti was cheap again and made it an option. I think in 2019, it's not an option no more and up. But for my specific year, they said, we want to give you guys the sport look, but we're not going to give you guys the suspension. So my car doesn't have the BBK, doesn't have the sport DDS suspension, it doesn't have the paddle shifters, and it doesn't have Sport Plus mode. But I mean, Sport Plus mode. It just has regular sport mode. It just has the sport seats and the sport bumper. That's it. That's all my car has. So I'm still a Luxe. I am a a sport Luxe, if you would want to say. Anyways, let me see what else is going on. 100 octane should be okay as long as you don't let it. If you're going to let it, it will kill your oxygen sensors and cats. Tune on GM and Mopar. I have a lot of experience in the EFI world. Okay, what would be the first upgrade you would recommend on a 3.0T? Hunter, in my previous videos, I would say the first upgrade in performance will be lower downpipes. The second upgrade will be a heat exchanger. A heat exchanger from Burger Tuning, AMS, Mishimoto. You can choose the brand you want. But my first modification will be lower downpipes because I think it's so affordable that everybody could get it. It's $150. MEGEN Racing hasn't done good with other other platforms depending on their build quality, but they did a good job with these low downpipes. Can't beat $150. Howdy, what's a conservative wheel horsepower tune number where the turbos would be safe? At Howdy, honestly, I wouldn't know. I've only owned my car, but I've known other people's cars that are out there still pushing 400 wheel, 450 wheel. But in my best experience on my own car, I was JB Ford from about 2,000 to 3,000 miles, and I didn't switch my JB Ford to a full-fledged tune until about 15,000 miles. So I would say, and I didn't start having this oil leak until recently. So I would say, honestly, just low 400s. That's it. STILLEN's article said the peak performance for these turbos are 18 psi, and so right around 18 psi, I would think is safe because that's the peak. But these turbos are so small that people really haven't blown their motors because they ran too much psi. Most people who have blown their motors, which is not much people, is because either they ran into a lack of oil or the timing might have been too aggressive, so they had a lot of pre-detonation. But these turbos relatively don't push enough psi for your motor to go pop, so yeah. Okay, I have a few messages popping up here, people hitting me up. I should jump on Instagram real quick and tell those guys to come and say what's up to me. Let me see. Get bear with me, guys. Peck, do you think throttle response controller like the one Burger Tune is worth it? At Peck, I went with the throttle response, pretty much the pedal commanders. The reason why I used that is because I wasn't tuned. When you're tuned, they can adjust the pedal sensitivity for you. But when you're not tuned, you need something like a pedal commander or a Burger Tuning pedal commander. It definitely does change in the reaction time, and it makes the car way more lively or more ready to go. So I would recommend the Burger Tuning one because it's half the price of the pedal commander. But if you're gonna go get a full-fledged tune, just wait for the tune then. Don't spend the $150 on Burger Tuning when you're gonna get a full-fledged tune. But for the JB4 guys, yeah, get the pedal commander. From Burger Tuning. It's really good. It's really affordable, and it makes the car way more lively. Let me see. What would be the loudest, best sounding exhaust on a 3.0 T? I would assume pretty much just full catless, no resonators, no muffler. That's the only thing I could think it would be the loudest. That's it. There's only the only few systems that I know that use no resonator at all is probably Rev 9. Rev 9's CATBACK, it has no resonators. It has, and it'll come with its AXLEBACK will have no mufflers or anything if you choose not to, and you'll to go get full downpipes from whatever company you could get full downpipes from non-catted. That would be the loudest, but I wouldn't recommend doing that because it's loud. It's gonna hurt your ears and it's gonna stink because there's no more cat, so you're not gonna like that smell. Um, Okay, cool. Okay, so okay, cool. I love how you do everything on the budget. The drag setup is legit. You actually changed my whole outlook on getting a drag setup. Thanks, G. Most active Q on the scene. Rocky, I don't think I'm the most active, but I do appreciate it. I try my best to do things on a budget because I'm a regular guy like you guys. I regular 9 to 5, regular dude from Brooklyn. Other YouTube channels, they could go and buy tires for full price. So they'll spend $700 on a drag pack just for tires. I can't do that. I can't afford that. So I try my best to look for people's used kits or used wheels because they're still good. They're gonna get burnt out anyway. So why go buy fresh tires when I could just buy slightly used ones for way less than half the price? The wheels thing was very hard. I was trying to get a matching wheel, but another $300 for a matching wheel didn't make any sense to me. So I went with a wheel that had the same spec and offset. And you guys are probably gonna like the video I drop tomorrow. The video tomorrow, hint is I'm gonna compare offsets of the same spec wheels, but on do they clear the BBK of the car? It's gonna be a weird video, but just check it out because a lot of people want to put 18s on with their BBKs. So you guys want to know if 18s fit and offsets and stuff. So this video I'm gonna try to make it as formative as possible. So definitely be on the lookout tomorrow for that video. It drops at 12 o'clock Eastern. I think that's like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock Pacific time. So yeah. Give me a second, but I appreciate winner. If Infinity gave the option for a manual or auto when your car was created, would you have leased the manual? No. No. Sorry, winner. No, I wouldn't get a manual Q50 3.0 T because I don't like rear drive and autos win races. I'm sorry, guys. For the people who drive manual here, autos win races. I'm just saying. Think about it. The fastest Hellcats are auto, not stick. I'm just saying. If it came to road racing, maybe a little better, but no. Maybe if they made a manual all-wheel drive system, something similar to like Audis, maybe I would consider it. But no. There's too much driver error that goes in with manuals. Even though I'm looking to get a G37 6-speed manual. Reason being is I don't want that car to do dig races. I want that car to be NA and to do drifting and certain circuit racing because I think that's the closest I'm gonna come to an actual real man's car, if you know what I mean, manual. You know what I'm saying, real drive. I had a guy with a Genesis hit me up on my he might be watching my channel right now. He had hit me up. He said I should have got a 2.0 T Genesis manual because they make good power with a simple turbo upgrade. And I said I'm not really looking for performance. I'm an Infinity guy, but I do like the car. But I'd rather stick with Infinity. This is what I know, Let me. But good question, winner. Okay, so do you not have pedal shifters on your car? At Tim, no, I do not. I'm supposed to make a kit soon, hopefully in the next whenever everything opens back up. This kit's out there. You can use Ultima and Maxima paddles. You just got to buy for the 2018s and up or 2016, 2017 and up Q50s. You're going to have to buy the column shroud. You're going to have to buy the paddles. And there's somebody on the Facebook website, Facebook Q50, Q60 group that sells the pretty much the electric line or the line so that the harness for the paddle shifters. But I haven't took the time out to do it yet. So sorry, don't beat me up. I'm just putting money to performance right now. I'm not paddles to me is like another $200-300 that I have to put to something that's just aesthetics to me. I don't mind hitting the little joystick back and forth, if you know what I mean. And I don't mean my joystick. But yeah, man, I think that's a good question though. But definitely gonna look out for that in the future when I start to get all this performance stuff out the way. Give me a second, guys. After you saw your video, any plans to do Z1 subframe bushings? Yes, Jordan. Jordan, what's going on? Yes, I'm gonna do the subframe bushings when this motor get dropped. Because when I'm changing the turbos, I'm aiming to do a lot of things when I drop the motor. I'm gonna change to Z1 Motorsports polyurethane engine mounts, probably transition mount 2. Collars, I may do a drive shaft too at the same time because I'd rather everything just get taken care of while the motor's out and down. I don't want my shop go back and doing a bunch of stuff. So I'm probably doing a drive shaft at the same time. I would love for somebody to sell their used Z1 Motorsports or Wave Track rear differential for me. That'd be great if you guys could just sell that for me right now. But I don't know if I'm gonna do the diff. But I'm probably gonna do the drive shaft if I really bite my nails to do it. Yeah. Let me see. I will decide to buy Infinity. Okay, what would you recommend? MEGEN strut bar. And Mark, yes, I did recommend the MEGEN strut bar. Reason being is I had all three. I had the MEGEN, Tanambi, and Cusco. I deleted the video because I was stupid. I deleted it for like 2 years ago. I should have never deleted it. It didn't have much views, but I was a small channel. But on video, I showed that the Cusco bar, you can bend it by hand, which is a waste of money. And it's the most expensive. The Tanambis, I didn't like the brackets. They were really flimsy and you could bend them. And the MEGENs, I just didn't like the quality of the bracket, but it's really thick. It's a really thick bar and really rigid. So, and it's the most affordable for some reason. So I recommend the MEGEN strut bar. Okay. Would you recommend, man? Okay, good. If I want to contact you, where would I contact you? In all my videos, I say it, brother. I don't know if you see at the start or the end of the videos. You can contact me at boostinmotion on IG, boostinmotion on Facebook, boostinmotion@gmail.com, or you can try to contact me under the comments. But it's really hard for me to go through all the comments from all my videos. So those are the 3 best places to contact me. Boostinmotion on all social medias and email. Okay, give me a second, guys. Would you recommend? All right. No, I didn't have it. In my old video, I did have installation problems installing, but because it came bent, it was damaged in delivery. But everyone else I know with the MEGEN strut bar haven't had any issues with installation. Much appreciated. Thank you for everybody. Thank you, Boost, for everything. Appreciate the howdy. Ali, where do you recommend getting an affordable wheels from? I'm going BBK, need 19-inch wheels. You can go with 18-inch too with the BBK if you want. Wheels, it's really up to you. You have plenty of sites. You have eBay, you have Amazon, you have whatever else comes up. Like those are some of the sites, the most common sites. But what I would recommend is go to fitmentindustries.com. I enjoy the YouTube, but they have a gallery of people who uploaded their wheels that they have on their car, their wheel specs. So you can actually know what will kind of fit your car based on those wheel specs, and or maybe you want to go with those specific brands. So you'll exactly know what to get. So you'll clear the BBK. So fitmentindustries.com. Let me see. Thanks for everything. Okay, go to Raw. Your Boost 2016 3.0T, 35 miles, 24K. Yeah, that's a good price, Ellie. That's a really good price. Just make sure that it wasn't hit. Most of these cars are hit. I'm also coming out with a video this Friday about how to look into seeing if cars were hit in the pre-existing past, because a lot of these cars are hit, but they rebuilt them and they sell them to you, and you're thinking that they're clean titles. So definitely check out for that video this Friday. You should speak on new Valtronics exhaust for FI exhaust. Thoughts? I like exhaust where you can adjust the sound. It's just that they're more expensive because, well, you know, they're expensive. And to be honest, for the 3.0T, none of the exhausts are really loud and obnoxious. So if people want to spend the extra money for valve control exhaust, they could do so if they really want. But I try my best to speak on experience of things I've used or my friends have used, or a good amount of, you know, case study of people who have that product. All I would say is valve exhaust. Only thing that allows you to do is just control how loud the car is. That's really it. That's really it. But if you want to spend extra money, you can do so. I think the only one who actually has that is the Gothos too. Gothos, whatever, or GT exhaust, or Gothos, whatever. I keep mispronouncing it. But I believe their exhaust was a Valvetronic. It was like $4,000 for it. Okay, so what else here? Where are you from? Faza, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, brother. Okay, as long as the car has a clean title, yeah, man, it's great. Appreciate answering that. Let me speed up on these questions. Do you think the Q60 Black S will ever be released? No, I don't think it will be. Infiniti is in shambles right now. I think they're gonna go with just trying to make crossover cars, pretty much those small crossovers, because that's where most of the American market is. Their Q50, QX50 sells a lot in high volumes for them. So people in America buy a lot of crossovers. So I don't see them making that car at all. And if they do make it, it's going to be expensive. And I don't know how much people are going to buy it. I don't think a lot of people are going to buy it. That car would have to be GTR amazing for people to buy it at $80,000 to $100,000. Okay, are downpipes and heat exchanger allowed by dealer? Have 10 months left on my red sport and planning on buying the car. Well, if you're planning on buying a car at Ari, why do you care about the dealer? Really, like, why do you care about the dealer? Once you start modifying this car and you know you're gonna own it, as much as you would really want to care about warranty, you're gonna have to suck it up. You're gonna own the car. So at some point, turbo's gonna go. It may not be under warranty. But to answer your question, it depends on your dealership. Honestly, when you take off downpipes, that's a federal crime. You're not supposed to remove cats off the car, but we do it anyway. And the heat exchanger, we already have heat exchangers. You can go with an AMS heat exchanger that's warranty friendly because Infiniti sells that one. But if you go with any other brand, you know, if something ever happened and you're not cool with that dealership, or they just didn't feel comfortable with it, they may not be mod friendly. Yeah, they could void your warranty if you do have an issue down the line. They could, but if because you're owning the car, yo, be okay with spending some money. This car isn't like a 335i, you know, where everything breaks every 5 minutes. That's not how this car is. This car is actually a relatively really reliable car, motor and transmission. High mileage turbos is another hand. That's another story. Okay, manuals require driver mod. Turbos work better with autos anyway, but boost launch and all. No need for two-step anti-lag. You can make manuals work good, but the clutches require more. Yep, he's right. Does E85 make a difference with stock turbo? Big difference at J Lazar. Big difference. E85 runs better, of course. It's better for the combustion, cooler exhaust temps. And also because of that, you can run more timing. And when you're talking, E85 gives you top end power. So with our turbos on 93 or 91 fuel, you'll make your peak power right around 5,000 RPM. From 5,000 to 7,000, that's 2,000 RPM. The power drops. So you can make 450 wheel horsepower at 5,000 and 410, 390 at 6,800. It drops on power. E85 goes up to 490, 500 wheel, and it holds that all the way up to redline. So yes, it does great on stock turbo. Okay, silver. I have a 2015 Q50A salvage. I'm fixing it. Got a frame pulled. Ooh, ouch. I want to modify it. My question is, can the red sport brake calipers fit? Yes, bro. If you're watching my videos, I'm currently installing BBK on my car, so you can definitely check out some of my videos. But yes, you can put G37 calipers, 370Z calipers, red sport calipers. They're all the same calipers from 2008, the same ones. The only difference is you're going to have to get a different rotor for the Q50 in the back. You can't use the rear rotors, well, for G37, 370Z. So you have to get specifically the Q50 one. But the front rotors, the calipers are interchangeable. And lastly, you're going to need to buy banjo bolts pretty much the banjo bolts for the brake lines. So you don't have to change brake lines. You can reuse the same stock brake lines, but you're going to need shorter banjo bolts. Just check my videos on my channel, BBK upgrade or install. I have a checklist of everything what you need to get done. It's relatively easy. I'm going to be installing the front BBK within the next week or two, so be checking out that video too, okay? All right. George, what relatively affordable exhaust would you recommend for 3.7 q50? The Rev 9 sounds like crap on the 3.7. It's gonna sound like a straight pipe VQ. I wouldn't get the Rev 9. I do like the NVIDIA, and I came out with a video too, bro. I dropped that video Saturday, so definitely check it out. I have that video up. It came out on Saturday. 400 horsepower 3.7 q50. That came out. I like the NVIDIA exhaust. I think it's relatively affordable. CATBACK exhaust. I like that, but I don't like my exhaust to be too loud and drone. So it's up to you guys. All right. At LA, got a G37 coupe. What are 3 mods you would do first? Well, put mods aside because you're saying older car. Do maintenance first, please. Just do maintenance. Do a drain and fill for the transmission if you can. It's kind of hard to do on your own, so just take it to a shop to do it for you, because you probably have a higher mileage and they probably never change out the transmission fluid. All right, but let's go to modifications. Test pipes. I made a video for this. Test pipes, CATBACK exhaust, and intake. Go with Z1 Motorsports intakes, Takeda's intakes, STILLEN intakes, admin tuning intakes, because the intakes is the ones that come to the front grill. I'm only talking about the G37 here, guys. The one that comes from the front and goes to the front of the behind the grill, but in front of the radiator. That's the intakes you can go with. Those are the 3 modifications: test pipes, CATBACK exhaust, and intakes. And then finally, you're gonna have to get a tune after that. Okay, what's up? By the way, hope you're doing good. Journey, I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Let me see. Can I fit it on my Q60? Would it give me more power without killing it? NOS system. Let me see. What was the question you asked before NOS system? Because I don't remember. Nope, I don't see you. You're probably talking to somebody else than NOS system. Have you seen the video of the 811? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that guy's been in the game for quite a while. He did a manual swap on his Q50. That car is fast. That 3.7, man. If you did, what were your thoughts on? Wait. Okay, what were my thoughts on the car? Yeah, the car is dope. It's fast. It's a really fast car. Like, this car is fast, but he's been in the realm for a while, and he put a lot of blood and sweat and tears in that car. And not a lot of people will do that, you know, and that's when you know you're a real true enthusiast of that platform. Like, some guys will leave this platform because they want a faster car. They're like, I need to make 600-700 wheel horsepower. And I get it. So to just leave the platform. But when you know you love this platform, you do stuff like what he did. So build a motor, swap out. He had a level 10 transmission. He swapped out to a manual because I think the level 10 wasn't taking as much power as his car was taking. So he just had to go to another level. And he's not doing dig racing. He said, I'm doing road racing. So his car is fast, man. That's it. I think his car is great. Give me a second, guys. Give me that. I think he has a channel too. I forgot the name of his channel, so definitely check it out. 1 second, guys. Bear with me. I'm just gonna try to go through these questions a little quicker. What's up, by the way? Okay. You grabbing a high pressure fuel pump boost? I already have one at Ricky. I already have a high pressure fuel pump, bro. Check my old videos. I already got it, but I didn't install it. I just got it just in case if I was gonna run E85. I already have a high pressure fuel pump. I already have a low pressure fuel pump. I got them off of Enthusiast POV, or as formerly known as Midwest, when he sold it. So I bought it off of him. Okay, Journey. ECU Tech Tune versus JB4. I've seen some JB4 make the same power as a tune. Nah, ECU Tech Tune over JB4 all day. I would love JB4, but if you want to be quick, JB4. If you want to be fast, tune. That's it. Because the JB4 just isn't going to give you the quicker 0 to 60s and the higher trap speeds compared to full ECU Tech Tune. That's my recommendation. Getting a few texts right now. Okay. All right. Okay. I can't answer that right now, bro. Bear with me, guys. And which one do I prefer in the long run? A tune. If you're gonna keep the car tuned, if you're gonna get a lease, JB4, because at least you can sell the JB4 at the end of the lease. Silver, do I need to change brackets for the calipers? As for salvage, it is a free if you hit, but okay. Wait, do I need to change the brackets? No, you don't have to change the brackets. No, it bolts right up, man. Bolts right up. There's a front end hit, so but engine okay. Need to change it. Okay, cool. Ricky, okay, stop wasting your breath with that question. JB4 will never be better than a tune. Also hurts the motor with a JB4 over time. No, it doesn't, Ricky. Y'all guys gotta stop saying that, because people who are tuned never really had a JB4. JB4 runs off your stock tune, and it puts your car on slightly rich. That's it. So you're running your air fuel ratios are going to be low 11s, maybe high 10s. That is actually more cushioning in tune. On tunes, you're running between 11.7 to like 12.1 air fuel ratio. So which one hurts more? Come on, man. And your timing is adjusted a lot more with a tune than a JB4. JB4 goes to the stock tune. And also the computer chooses to go with less boost if you heat soak. On the tune, it doesn't do that. It's still calling for 19 psi, even though you have higher AFR reading, higher charge air temps. So honestly, if it came to racing, the JB4 is way better in to be honest, in longevity wise, because it's a bit safer. Runs off the stock tune. All tuners aren't created equal, bro. You know that, man. All tuners are not created. Some of these tuners are doing terrible jobs on the 3.0 Ts. I have a lot of people who do hit me up in my DM and tell me that they're running into specific issues. Sometimes it could be the car, but sometimes the tuners are not all that good. They don't know what they're doing. So it is what it is. That's my opinion, though. Not a fact, but that's my opinion. Clyde, because of you, I am starting a channel. Definitely, man. Supercharged G37 XS. Why not, man? Do it. Do it, Clyde. I appreciate it, man. We need more VQVR YouTube channels. We need it. I know that I'm a YouTube channel, but this YouTube spectrum is big enough for all of us to eat, and everybody has a different chemistry that they bring to the screen. So shout out to Fox Craze. I believe that's his YouTube channel. He's doing like more hands-on modifications and aesthetic looks of his Q50 right now, which I like watching his channel. Speed Cultures. 3.7 guy. He's doing modifications that I really wouldn't do, like put in racing seats, and he's road drive, so he's doing slightly different modifications for 3.7. So you gotta check out these other guys' channels. I know somebody's gonna come out with a channel that's just only for bagged wheel cars, or Q50s or Q60s. I bet you, and it is what it is. So definitely, if you want to start a YouTube channel, don't wait till later. Do it now. Just document your journey. Somebody out there is going through the same struggle. They may ask you some questions. And I believe this platform, at least from what I can see, is very helpful in learning stuff quick. That's honestly it. Okay. Yo, what's going on, Lyric? Johnny, yo, you've been hearing a lot about that. Thank you. Clyde, love your channel. Appreciate that, Clyde. Okay, good looks. Appreciate that. Thank you, man, Lyric. Have you had any issues with the MEGEN racing YPIPE? Yes, all YPIPEs crack by the flex. They flex. The flex pipe always cracks. Majority of the time, it freaking cracks. So when you buy a MEGEN racing or just any YPIPE, almost any YPIPE, they will crack because of vibrations over time. Maybe not in 6 months, but a year, 2 years later down the line, they just crack from vibrations from the twisting of the motor. It just always happens. Let me see. Ricky, no problem, no hate, just been improved. I mean, no, bro, no, Ricky. Listen, I'm not trying to come at you, bro. It's just it's no hate or nothing. I know I'm just coming off a little aggressive. It's just some tuners push these cars AFRs to 12 to 12.1 just to try to edge out a little bit more power, especially when it's on E-mix. So you'll see good numbers, but that is for that ambient temperature of that day. It was 50, 60 degrees that day. So they gave you that tune on that day, right? Now let's say you take your car that was tuned in 50-degree weather, and now it become a 90-degree to 100-degree day. That car is going to drive like shit because it was tuned in 50 to 60-degree weather where it's more oxygen, it's cooler. Now it has higher ambient air. The charge air temps are hotter. and the timing might be a little bit too aggressive, and the AFRs are just set too high. You gotta bring it a little down, some more cushion. So that's what I learned from when it comes to the tuning realm. I'm not a tuner, but that's what I learned. So people are getting tuned, and when someone gets tuned in 100-degree weather, I'd rather get tuned in 80 to 90-degree weather, because that means in colder temp, my car is gonna run even better. But when you get tuned in like 40 to 50-degree weather, your car's gonna run like shit in hot ass weather, man. It's gonna run like terrible crap. And that doesn't matter if you're a 3.0T or a 3.7, just being honest. Let me see. Yo, Boost, why are your rims so expensive? Wheels, bro. Wheels, Jay. They call wheels. Wheels. Rim is this. This is the rim of a cup. On wheels, the edge of the wheel is called a rim. Just help you out. But my wheels are discontinued, and they're Wet Sports, man. Wet Sports are a really good wheel company. They put a lot of money into manufacturing. That's why when you spend extra money, I've hit so much potholes with these wheels that literally the tires took a lot of the impact, but the wheels have yet to bend. So I'm really happy that I got these purchases wheels. I had Enki RPF ones before. They cracked because they're cast. They only can take but so much, you know? So you get what you pay for. What's good, Boost? Since I got RS, could just get AMS auxiliary fender tank. Be okay with that? Yeah, you can add the additional fender tank to your stock system, but it should help you in maintaining the same consistent coolant temperature, because you added so much more coolant to the system. But the heat exchanger, technically, you still want to cool off the air from the front, from the front, from front bumper, man. You know what I'm talking about. I'm getting tongue twisted here. So I would still recommend getting a upgraded heat exchanger, because you need more surface area to cool down the hot coolant that's going to be circling back into the system. So that's my recommendation. So if it was up to me right now, I would do the end tank and the fender, and I would do an upgraded heat exchanger together, because you're adding more coolant, which means it's even better for the system. Let me see what else you got here as questions. Wait, hold on. I got to go back to the chat. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Okay. Oh, he said brands. What brands I would recommend? Jay, it's up to you, man. When it comes to wheels, get the wheels that you can afford. But what I would say is this: get the proper tire size. I don't care what tires you get, from Michelin's to Nankings. Get the proper tire size. If you guys go with a thin sidewall tire, you're gonna have a bad time. If Winner's watching, he knows what I'm talking about. You have a bad time. 35 series sidewalls, you're gonna have a bad time. It's good. You're gonna get blowouts. You're gonna get bubbles. It's gonna be annoying. It's best to go with a 40 wall with a lot of these tires. It may look a lot thicker, but it's best unless you're a guy who has air suspension. Most of you guys on air suspension go with really low profile tires. But if you're not air suspension, get a proper thicker sidewall, please. I'm telling you, it's gonna save you money in the long run, and also you have to give it a better ride comfort, and it protects the wheel, because when you hit a pothole, the tire is supposed to take the hit, not the wheel. But anyways, all right. Did I miss a question? No, I didn't. Okay, Boost, third time I'm asking. My question is, can I install nitrous system on my Q60? FO, why not? One slow Q60 on IG is doing it. A few other people are considering doing it. Why can't you install a nitrous system? A wet shot too. I don't see why you can't. It's a wet shot. It's just that the issue that you're gonna have is, if you install nitrous on your car, right? You don't want to just shoot it into the intake manifold. You don't know how much nitrous is going to go into every cylinder, so it's going to be uneven. So like someone had commented before, the company, I think it's called Drop Pearls, they're making a meth kit. It could probably work with a nitrous system too, and depending on the port size. This allows you to shoot nitrous, the same amount of nitrous, into each cylinder, so that it's an even shot, especially wet shot. It's an even shot. So I don't see why not. Just make sure it's wet. You could probably get it tuned on it too if you really want to, but I don't see a problem with using like a 50 to 75 shot wet into each cylinder. So it's up to you, man. Texas Big Life. Okay, that was his. Okay, cool. That's his name. All right, cool. What fluid can you use in intercooler coolant tanks? Regular coolant. Nissan uses like a blue coolant. I use regular green coolant for my heat exchanger system. When I change my heat exchanger, I use regular green coolant. I didn't care the 50-50 mix. I'm not gonna spend extra money for the blue one. I don't see the sense in it. I don't know. I haven't did any I should have did some research to see if the blue one is better, but I said screw it. It's coolant. It's coolant. So sorry, don't beat me up. Clyde on reliability 3.7. That's it. I don't even need to read the rest of the question. Reliability 3.7. 3.0 T is not going to match the reliability of 3.7. Period. It's just not going to. You have both. So which do you prefer? If it was reliability, 3.7. If I want power, 3.0. Boosted Devil, do you think you can run 10.5? Yes, you. Oh yeah, 10.5 plus 22 offset on a Q60. Yes, doesn't matter if it's a G37 Q60 or the 3.0 Q60, but you will have to be lowered. You're gonna have to be lowered. If you do it on stock tire at stock height, it's gonna have a bad time. It's gonna look Mexi flush. But lowered, those specs fit perfectly fine. I think that's what happened to me. I went to the dyno day after, tweaked my tune and knocked on dyno, but yeah, street, but then it went great. Okay, Clyde. Okay, keep us updated on the meets. We'll love to come up. Yeah, Clyde, I'll definitely want to set up a meet soon in the tri-state area, and hopefully in the next few months, when everything opens back up, I do want to visit some parts of this country, depending on money-wise, see if I can afford it. It ain't gonna be easy, but I definitely want to meet a lot of you guys. And hopefully you guys are COVID negative. And if anybody who's also been exposed to what's going on, which is everybody, I hope you guys, family, friends are doing good. If you lost anyone, I'm sorry. I know some people in my own social circles who lost mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters. And I know how that feels to lose somebody you love, such as a parent or a brother. So I'm just sorry that you guys have to go through this. And we'll get through this, man. We'll get through this. Hold your head up. Keep moving forward. We'll get this done, man. Hopefully I can give you guys some entertainment during this crazy day and age, because this is different. This is different. And as much as I would like to just go to car meets and hang out and talk with you guys and have fun, we got to deal with something serious right now. We just want to get this out the way. Hopefully you guys can get back to work soon, because I know you guys want to get this money to get car parts. All right. So let's continue to move forward, man. Thank you guys so much. Welcome, Carlos. F80 or Q50? F80. F80 is a better car. It's faster performance, but I mean to own Q50. But if it doesn't come to money, if I had the money to not care, F80. James, ambient temperatures affect all vehicles. IAT timing section pulls timing as AAT increases. Normally 0 out and reduces 50. Yep. Yo, James knows exactly what I'm talking about. Lyric, do you recommend plastic dip on chrome parts, grills, and rims? Stop saying rims, bro. Wheels. Back in the day, you guys didn't know I didn't have this channel when I used to have my Maxima. If winner's watching knows what I'm talking about. I plastic dip a few of the parts on my Maxima days and my G days. If you plastic dip right on wheels, you can actually paint over plastic dip. This is if you do the layering process properly. I plastic dip my G37 wheels on my Maxima, and I painted over the plastic dip. It's just as long as you do it properly. Chrome deletes, I never really became a fan of plastic dip on chrome deletes and stuff like that, because most people just don't do it right, and it's driest looking. I want it to look, a little shiny, so I wouldn't really recommend that. I would rather you guys use like a tint film for like the side pillars on a chrome delete, and maybe just get a replacement rear chrome thing on the trunk, maybe. But it's up to you guys, though. This is just my honest opinion. I want you guys to take on these projects as long as you feel comfortable, but just try to make sure that the prep is done. And the best thing about plastic dip is if you get it wrong, you can peel it off. That is one of the best things I like about plastic dip. Let me see what else I could answer here. Give me a second, guys. 19 Lux, full bolt-on JB4 fuel wise. How do you know which e-mix is mixing up with the fuel system? You don't know. You're pretty much, you can buy these little test kits online that checks the E85 quality at your local pump, but usually the code regular number is, depending on how high you want the octane to go to, it's usually 3 to 5 gallons of E85 to 91 or 93. There's a lot of YouTube calculations, not YouTube, Google charts that teaches you about E85 mixing with specific amount of fuel and what the octane level would be. But if you really want to know, you can buy a flex fuel kit from Fuel It. You'll install it on your fuel lines, and it'll let you know what your E content is digitally, and it'll be through an app too onto your phone, which is pretty cool. What's the cheapest way to get 500 horsepower? JB4 or a tune. That's it. If you just took your car stock, tune stock, you're gonna pick you with no other bolt-ons. You can make like 420, 430 wheel horsepower. So that's about 500 horsepower. Talking about drivetrain loss and everything like that, that's about that's about 420, 430. And JB4 can give you that too, but it'll be easier to get it on a tune, because a tune could be about $600, $700, $800, one shot, call it a day. Don't even get anything else. Let me see. Also add additives to the coolant. You could add water wetter. I believe it's called water wetter company. I had added that into my system too, but it says it usually works, but I don't really see it unless I'm running a full, like the whole thing is water wetter in my heat exchanger system. Do you still use your pedal commander? No, I sold my pedal commanders. I had 2 of them. They're gone. Bye-bye. Vamoose. Because I'm tuned, so they can adjust it. But if you're a JB4 or just stock, pedal commander / BMS pedal commanders are really good. And I do recommend them because it definitely changes up the feeling of the car. The car feels more ready. And at $150 is not bad. But if you're tuned, no, don't do it on me if you're tuned. Let me see what else. Compassionate about your followers, man. I appreciate the sympathy. Peck, listen, man, we're humans, bro. Like Peck, we're all humans out here, and we're all going through some kind of struggle, no matter where we are. I live in Brooklyn, New York. We're on stay at home, but fortunately, I still have a job, which I'm very appreciative of. But then also, I know a bunch of people who are not working right now that I care about, and I feel bad for them, and I wish I could help them. But right now, what can we do? Everything is closed, depending on what state you're in. So, and some people lost loved ones, man. That shit hurts, man. Like, you know, I lost my father, I lost my brother, and I lost my grandmother. This is all within the last 3 years. Every year I lost somebody that I loved. So I know how it feels, man. So I just hope we all can get through this, and just, there's sunlight at the end of the tunnel, man. Especially when you got a straight pipe 3.7 VQ or a full down pipe 3.0 T. But anyways, let me just continue, man. YPIPE back exhaust, yeah or nah? Why not? You can do that. Why not, Tim? You can do it. It's up to you, man. As long as you're comfortable with your car, man. Remember, this is your car, guys. You know what I'm saying? You can do what you want with it. I'm just a person that just tries to give the information from what I know. And maybe if you guys are kind of following my route on my build, I help you. But if you want to divert off that path, you can, man. I have a lot of people that are not into performance. They just want their car to look good and clean. They want carbon fiber hood, fenders, racing seats. They want to wrap the car, bag it, expensive wheels. I get it. That's a whole nother look. I'm just not part of that. This is not me. I would love to do that type of build, but it's expensive. That stuff is expensive. I'm cheap. To me, it's cheaper to do performance for this car than to do looks. I'm just saying. Carbon fiber bits alone could be about $5,000. Just, I'm talking about from trunk to hood to fenders. Woo, woo, that's expensive. I can't do it, but some people do, and their cars are sexy too. James, do a dyno IT to get higher than street. Okay, cool. Yeah, yo, James is dropping mad knowledge for you guys. I'm telling you, James is letting you guys know a lot about performance here. Corrupt, would you get a BMW in the future? And if so, which one? In older videos, Corrupted Files. They're gonna drop that new M3, and it's gonna probably be all-wheel drive, and it's gonna be a beast. Because if you look at the X3M right now, if you're watching, you know I'm talking about, Winner. That motor is no joke. That M3 is going to be like 520, 530 horsepower to the crank. And it's going to be modified. You could probably throw a JB4 in that thing or get a full-fledged tune. That car is going to be a low 11-second car from factory and probably a low 10-second car tuned. It's going to be putting in business. So that would be the only car I would really get from BMW. The 340i's are really nice cars, but to me, that's like a lateral move. That's like me coming from my car to that car. So I want that one. To me, that's not getting an imperial car, I would say. Hey, Boost, people say rims were crumb. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Soda pop. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, man. I know what you're talking about, man. Honor, what should you be the first thing to do? Modify Q50 to make it fast. At Honor, it depends. If you have a 3.0 T, one of my first recommendations I always sit there and say is lower downpipes and heat exchanger. If you have a 3.7 test pipes, that's like one of the first modifications I would say. But to make it fast, it just makes the cars faster. It's not going to be a big bump in power when you're 3.7. You will gain some wheel horsepower, but you gain the most wheel horsepower when you do all your bolt-ons from intake, test pipes, exhaust, and then you get a tune. Or in the 3.0 Ts, you do intake, heat exchanger, lower downpipe, and catback exhaust, and then a tune. So you gain the most power from getting a full-fledged tune. Okay, Anna, what should be the first thing you do? Okay, question: which seats are better? I've never driven in the q60 seats yet, so I know they're designed differently, so I don't know how comfortable they are. So I really can't tell you if the q60 seats are good. But what I would say is I do miss my premium seats. They're still perforated, so they still have that air cool. They have the little holes in the seats. I like those because they still breathe. The sport seats to me aren't as comfy as the premium seats, but I do like the extra lumbar support or whatever they would call it. They have the squeezes you hear, and it has a little extension for your legs. I forgot. I think it's lumbar support or something like that. I like that part about it. I just wish it was a bit more comfortable. I really can't tell you which one, man. I like all of them. I just wish that it was a bit more comfortable, the sport seats. Honor visual exhaust mods. Do you know if RT Tuning is trustworthy place to get the VR tune? Boosted Devil Dog. RT Tuning has been out in business for a very long time. 1, 2. They were one of the first companies to tune this platform 4 years ago. I just want you to know that. Think about that. One of the first companies. It was like RT Tuning and AMS and Viscotti. Like 3 people to go to. That's it. So after that, other companies came. So RT Tuning is one of the most reliable places. Okay, so just letting you guys know that. But results may vary. That's all I gotta say. Results may vary. Okay, cool. James Knowledge. Okay, cool. Okay, what can you see happening in the future with Infiniti brand in the next 5 years? Electrification, because they already stated they're going forward with electrification. Most of their cars are going to be hybrid or full electrics. And what cars are you looking forward to owning in the future? I don't know, man. Honestly, the G37, I want that second car for the channel, but I also want to own a G37 coupe 6-speed manual. If it was really up to me, after the G37, I would like right now, if I had a garage, because I live in an apartment, if I had a garage, I would have 3 cars. Q50, right now, the one I have, G37 6-speed manual, and GTR. Because I'm a Nissan Infiniti fanboy. I really am. Like, I love this brand. Yes, I know the pitfalls of the brand, but I do love this brand. I do like Hellcats. I do like Porsche GT3s. I do like Ferraris. I do like Honda Civic Type Rs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like these other brands of cars, but it's going to be very hard for me to get out of this brand and go and to get another brand. Very hard. Because I love this brand. Cool. Okay. Cool. Thanks. I've been okay. Okay. Blower valve. Do you how to get one to give interrupted sound, not the little whistling sound? Okay. So if you're talking about blower valves, the HKS ones, they have inserts on it, so you can take the inserts off, and it won't give you that loud noise, that little mouse squeak noise. So they have inserts on that. There are other brands out there too. RT Tuning, I believe, sells their blowout kit too. They use like towels or whatever the case might be. Okay. James, I'm learning about this platform option available. I'm trying not to license my ACM with HP tuners. Yeah, HP tuners are new to this market, so that's kind of cool that you can do so. What are some aesthetic modifications are you planning for the Q50? Not much. I'm all performance. A rear diffuser. I'm gonna get rear diffuser, probably eBay one. I'm gonna get a eBay one, man, with a third brake light, a functional third brake light, chrome delete, or not, maybe not delete, but tinted, like a dark, maybe like a black chrome. And that's about it. Maybe a rear roof spoiler, and that's it for visuals. That's it. Like, I'm sorry, guys, y'all gonna hate me. I don't do too much of the visual. I just want to have good stance, my front lip on the car, and some nice wheels. That's when it comes to visual. That's what I want. I want to keep it simply clean. Okay. Would you consider coming to Louisiana and doing a car meet? We got a lot of muscle cars out here, and yeah, I know, man. Down south or just middle Midwest, man. You guys have it's all 392 Hellcat territory. Mustangs. They don't really care for Infinity guys, but I don't know what city is in Louisiana, so just write it in the chat. So maybe I'll look into it. But there are specific cities in specific states that I do want to visit, like Cincinnati. Like I would like to visit Cincinnati, you know, like some of these cities I've always wanted to visit, and they're relatively affordable to fly out. But listen, guys, you guys watch this channel, right? You watch me. If you guys want to support me, you can. Like, I don't like asking and begging for stuff, but I will go places if people are like, yo, Boost, like, yo, I'll put $20 to your flight ticket. Like, how come? Because you guys are helping, you know, take some of the costs of going there, you know? So if you guys want to, y'all could donate to the channel. You don't have to. But if you want to, if you're really like, yo, Boost, it's like 10 of y'all. You're like, listen, Boost, we want you to come to Oregon. And I'm like, I don't know what's in Oregon, guys. And you're like, well, we want you to come there. The flight ticket is $100. We'll put $10 together for you to fly you out. I'll come. That's all I'm saying on video. But anyways, let me see. Questions. Nissan Infiniti all day. Just wondering, Boost, did you wish that the Q50 Rogue? It did. We basically have the Q50 on Rouge or whatever it is. It is a VR30, not the VR38. It's a VR30. We pretty much got the watered down version of it. That's what it is, unfortunately. And I still think it's a good car. I just wish they made the turbos more efficient. That's all I'm saying. But I think this car is still a good car. And plus, they didn't want to outshadow the GTR, but I still think it was a bad marketing decision. Reason being is they still came out with the Juke R's, and they were like $500,000, and people actually bought those cars. So if people are gonna spend $500,000 on a Juke R, I think people would spend $100,000 on a Q50 as long as they make it compete. Like, just don't drop a GTR motor in there. Give it a better transmission, at which they didn't have a better transmission at the time. They didn't want to give it a DCT, and the 7-speed wasn't good enough for them to handle the amount of torque. So, you know, I guess that's why they did what they did. I'm with you, GTR. Love GM. They sound okay. 2002. Bad. They weren't real tuning. Okay, cool. Can the Q50 Red Sport bumper fit? Yes. Silver. Yes. I think I answered that question before. If you guys want to come from a non-sport bumper to a sport bumper, I believe I have kind of a video about this with links to it. You can swap it over easy. It's not hard. It's pretty much the bumper skin, and it's going to come with the bottom grill, the fog light inserts, and you're going to have to change the grills. The grills are not interchangeable from the 2015 to the 2016s. I mean, to the 2018s. So the 2014 to 2017 grills are the same, and the 2018s and up are different. Okay, the bumpers are different too. You can reuse the fog lights. You can reuse the turn signals and headlights. You don't have to change anything else. That's it. If you have sensor holes, of course, that's different. You know, you try to get the one with the sensor holes. Okay. Okay, not too far from me. Baton Rouge. Yeah, I wouldn't wait. Baton Rouge. You know how those people get hit by cars and stuff? I don't want people to hit me with no cars. But you know, I'm just joking around. In Alabama, 392 charges. Yeah, 392 is gonna be common. What car has more potential, full bolt on redsport or full bolt on 340? Honestly, I'm gonna be straight up with you, Rick. The 340i, the B58, it to me it just has more potential. It has more top end power. It's simpler to work with. It's an inline six. It's a one turbo. Um, from what I know, depending on what year B58 and which model it comes in, the fuel system maybe not as good, but yes, the 340i seems like it's, from what I know, is better. It's just better transmission too. You can't beat it. My boy, if Winter's watching, his car is quick. He says my car is faster than his, but I think he has like the first generation of the B58, so I believe his fuel system isn't as good as the one in the newer B58s, like the 2020 340s and the Supras. So, but that's just me eyeballing it. I could be wrong, but I think that's just a better platform or drivetrain than ours. Okay. Stock for stock, which do you think is faster, 3.0T Supra or Redsport? The Supra. The Supra should be faster. It's lighter, bro. The car is like 3,300 pounds. The Redsport's like 4,000. I mean, even if you dig race the car, if it was a 3.0T Redsport Q50 in a dig race, I think we'll probably take off first. But I don't see why the Supra can't start catching up, you know, because it's just lighter and it has an 8-speed transmission, better drivetrain. Definitely. Let me see. I've been answering a lot of you guys' questions, man. I've been having a good time with you guys. You guys are hanging out with me. I hope you guys are like catching a drink a little bit. You know, that's a little bit of vodka in there. So, and you know, right now it's what, 6:47 in New York. So it's like a happy hour time. You guys in Cali is probably like 3, 4 o'clock. So some of you guys are probably getting off of work. But let me just jump on Instagram real quick because I want to know where you guys are at. Like, you know, why you guys are not hanging out with me. Let me see what other questions you got too. Let me see. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I just want to see who's on live right now on Instagram, because these guys, the thing is, I love you guys too, but I love my IG guys a little bit more because they show me a lot of love and respect, but they ask so much questions. Like my Instagram dudes ask so much questions. So I want to see who's on IG, and whoever's on IG, I'm gonna tell them to come to YouTube and ask these questions because they'll wait till 3 a.m. in the morning and be like, yo, Boost, do you put the cream on the toast or do you put the toast on the cream? I'm like, what is that? That's nothing to do with cars, bro. Nothing to do with cars. Okay? All right. But yo, what's going on? Bear with me, YouTube guys. My IG people, y'all go to my YouTube. Like, what's going on? Go to my YouTube. Y'all guys are supposed to be watching my YouTube right now. Right? I'm on YouTube right now. You guys are gonna ask me a bunch of questions. I want you guys to jump on the YouTube right now and ask the questions. Come on, let's get this YouTube on and popping. I'm always showing love to you guys. Go to YouTube. Go to my YouTube. I'm live right now, right? What's going on, VR30? What's up? Go to my YouTube. We want to go over there and hang out and have a good time and have some drinks, man. Come on. Go to YouTube. We're drinking over there. That's where the fun is at. All right, so go to YouTube. I'm sorry, Fizzy. Go to YouTube. We over there. We in YouTube right now having a good time. All right. Okay, Hunter. Yeah, thank you, man. Go to YouTube. All right. So I'm gonna be on it like maybe 8 o'clock Eastern time. All right. So check me there. We going back there. All right. All right. So just sorry, guys. I just because they forget sometimes. You know, they just they living their lives. They having their Instagram live. You know. It's Taco Tuesday somewhere, even though it's not Tuesday. But anyways, let me get back to you guys' questions. Okay. Woo. All right. Boost, do you know anything? Okay, Boost, do you know anything about 3.0T after tuning it? Sometimes bugs down high RPMs. Alexander, what I can tell you, not from my experience on going through it, but people that are around me who have gotten tuned, if they're starting to bog down or running to fuel issues at high RPM, usually it's attributed to either the tune, one, if it's the tune. Two, it could be the fuel system. Some people start running into issues with their fuel pressure sensor, depending on if they have a higher mileage 3.0T, or 3, it could honestly be temperature. Remember, if you're getting tuned in 50 to 60 degree weather, and now you're in Texas heat of 90 to 100 degree weather, the car is going to drive like shit. It's not going to drive as good because the ambient temperature, the charge air temps are a lot hotter. So the car was tuned and the timing was done in 50 to 60 degree weather. So it's not really going to adjust enough for the car to like run at its peak performance because it's hotter outside. So just try to think about some of those factors before you start finding out what some of the issues are. But look into the fuel you're using, elevation, temperature from the last time you got tuned. And also just hit your tuner up. Tell them to look at some logs. They can definitely take a look and see if you run into fueling issues, you know. It's 420 somewhere. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, it's 420 somewhere. I like that one. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't smoke. New York City or New York State is a type of state that's just so not ahead of the curve. And plus, I can't smoke because of what I do on a daily, so I can't smoke. Garcia, any transmission upgrades we have for the VR30 red sports? It's the same transmission as from what I know, unless Cadro, I believe Cadro said that the red sport transmissions are different, but I believe it's still the same transmission tune. But there's really no transmission upgrades. That's it. There's just no transmission upgrades. It's nothing. It's nothing you could do. That's it. You can maybe add in a transmission cooler if you really want to, but it already has a transmission cooler. But if you want to add a bigger one, you can do that. But there's really no upgrades. Are you planning on doing level 10 transmission? No, Peck. No, not at all. Most people that are tuned on stock transmission, and that's good enough for stock turbos or even upgraded turbos. The most I'm going to do when I change out these turbos is add in a transmission auxiliary cooler, because we have a transmission cooler which is like the size of this. It's on the side of the engine, and also it runs to the bottom of the radiator, but I want an air-cooled auxiliary transmission cooler. So I'm probably going to delete that one that's on the side of the motor, because it still has, I believe it still has it has a coolant that runs into it to warm up the transmission fluid, and I don't want the transmission fluid getting hot. So I'm probably going to delete that system and probably run it inline off the one that goes into the bottom of the radiator, and then it's going to run into the air-cooled transmission cooler and then come back to the transmission. That's probably what I'm going to do. I already looked at it and see how I'm going to probably plumb it up and everything. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be done in the next 2-3 months when I start doing that turbo upgrade. It's going to be a lot of craziness. I'm telling you. I'm going to document a lot of that, and I hope you guys are going to be along with me for this ride, because I see headaches in the future. So that's why I want to get the second car, because that car is going to be on lift for however long it's going to be on lift, and I want to be able to have a daily car that I'm playing with and I'm doing content on. So that's why I really need you guys to watch all my videos from the start to the finish. You go hit the like button, comment. That stuff helps out my channel. I could have 100,000 subscribers, but if no one's watching my videos, YouTube doesn't care. But if everyone's watching my videos and liking and commenting, YouTube says, "Oh my God, this video is cool," and they'll just start suggesting my video to somebody who's watching Hellcats being dragged. just wanted to say that randomly. Hellcats getting dragged. All right. Will you be the next Mod to Fame event? Yes, winner. Yes. The next Mod to Fame event will be May 30th. Hopefully New York will be open. If New York is not open, he's gonna move it to another date in June. So, but the car will not be ready with upgraded turbos for the Mod to Fame event. So I'm probably gonna go to the Mod to Fame event with a leaking turbo. Yes. Don't beat me up. It's not a bad leaking turbo, but I'm probably going to go there the way the car sits on leaking turbo and do my best. And then after that, it goes to the surgical man to drop the motor, and we're going to figure that turbo thing out. Let me see. 4.7 060 bad, 3.0T rear drive. No, 4.7 is not bad at all for a rear drive. I got to say that's pretty good. What's the most power you gonna get off your car? My goal is to get my car fast. Okay, faster than 392 Hemi. 560 is what I'm trying to aim for. At Wick 9. It's not that hard for you to beat 392s. Reason being is stock ones, yes, they have almost 500 horsepower, but they're 4,400 pounds. So power to weight ratio, honestly, you only need like 400, 410, 420 wheel horsepower. If you go to some of my older videos, I raced a 392. Shout out to him, good dude. He had a 93 tuned, just CATBACK exhaust, 392 versus my JB4. And I had a upgraded heat exchanger, JB4 q50, and we were door to door. So that was my JB4. I wasn't even full bolt-on at that time. So right now, 392s are food for me. Like they're not a problem. They're not a problem. So if you want to get a tune with some bolt-ons, yeah, you're gonna leave them. But if you want 560 horsepower, that means you want about close to 500 pounds of 500 wheel horsepower with drivetrain loss. I mean, you could probably do that on 93. Excuse me. You could probably do that on 93 tune with full bolt-ons. The biggest heat exchanger you can find, cooling system, 94 octane, maybe even get a tune maybe on 100 octane. You could push like 470, 480 wheel horsepower on a higher octane fuel. So I don't see why that can't happen. Definitely. Let me see. Is it worth to get a flame map on a 3.0T? People keep saying that my turbos will get destroyed. It's not that your turbos won't get destroyed, Duran. What would happen is for you to get a proper flame map, you need to go full catless. So usually what happens is they retard the timing so much that you're dumping so much fuel in the exhaust system that it's going to foul up the oxygen sensors, and it's going to be a lot of black soot coming out your exhaust. It's going to stink. It's going to get black up your back of your exhaust. It's going to just be a terrible time. Also on top of that, when you go full catless, there's no way to control the back pressure on the turbos, which means that the turbos could surge, and there's really no way to alleviate the extra amount of, I won't say boost, but to slow the turbos down, because the wastegates are really small on these cars. Like I want to show you guys. I don't even have the turbos in front of me. If I had the turbos, I would show you how small these wastegates are. So it's hard for the tuners to control the boost and or the RPMs of the turbines when there's no back pressure. Though that means those turbos will spin as freely as they want until they want to slow down. And that's why they're saying that the turbos, the longevity goes down. And also, I mean, the flame maps are pretty cool though. I like the way it looks. I do like the way it looks, but I'm not gonna do it now. Okay. X-Pipe good. Oh, wait, I got a tip. Oh, what's going on, London? Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. I'm so sorry. I recently purchased a CPO 15 Q50S with 9,500 miles. That is a baby. That car has no miles. A few days later, the catalytic converters failed. Is that normal? No way. The catalytic converters failed, or did you have oxygen sensor codes? The oxygen sensor might have failed, but the converters failed. They don't fail, bro. That's not possible. Unless the only way I could think that they might have failed is, one, the fuel mixture was terrible, but it's 9,500 miles. Two, maybe the car was sitting in water and water got into the exhaust and that corroded the converters. And that's about it. That's the only thing in my mind that can make them fail, because all they are is pretty much a honeycomb. So for them to fail, I can only think of those two reasons. It was probably an oxygen sensor, bro. You sure? But I appreciate the tip, man. I definitely appreciate the tip. I don't have any more drinks or anything like that, but that's to you, man. Thank you. All right. Okay. X-Pipe or H-Pipe? Oh, wait, I got another tip. Whoa, $5 tip in the house. Oh, they failed. The dealer replaced them under warranty. Here's the thing, London. You didn't have to drop the $5 for that. You know, you could have just typed out and responded to that one. But I appreciate the $5 shot, definitely. Here's the thing about dealers, because I have a few people who watch me that are techs for dealers, and also a few people who are service advisors, which is kind of cool. Sometimes they're not going to tell you, because I used to work in the automotive industry. They're not going to tell you exactly what went wrong with your car sometimes. I'm not saying that's not what happened to you. All I'm saying is that they're not going to tell you exactly what happened. They're just going to sit there and say, you know what? Just change everything that deals with that. So you might have had an oxygen sensor, right? Code, right? And it might have been like, we can change this oxygen sensor, or we could just, because both ways, it's kind of hard to get to the oxygen sensors depending on which sensor they use. They might have said, you know what? Because we're going in there, let's just give them new cats at the same time. Because what if you change the oxygen sensor, but the cats were really bad? So they just went with what was the easier thing, what was the better thing to do. Change the cats completely and then change the oxygen sensors, because now most likely the problem won't come back. If they change the oxygen sensors and then you come back a week later, now they have to change the cats. You get what I'm trying to say? So I'm just being fair. That could have actually would happen, but it's not a common thing. You're the first person that ever told me that your cats have failed in under 10,000 miles, or 40 or 100,000 miles on a 3.7. So the first time we ever hearing of it. All right, so that's my explanation. Don't mean I'm right. This is my opinion. Remember, I'm just some guy on YouTube. Yes, I do know a little bit about the platform, but I'm definitely not a genius or anything like that. Definitely not. All right, but I do appreciate the tip, man. Thank you for the shots and everything like that. All right, so I got to get back up to the questions earlier. Okay. Is XPipe good for V6s? Yes, you can use XPipe on V6s. It's perfectly fine. XPipes have been definitely used in the spectrum forever, like forever. So definitely check it out. Do you recommend dual pass heat exchanger setup using? Okay, yeah, you can use a dual pass at VZ. Yeah, I have a dual pass. It goes into the OEM first, and then it goes to the Burger tuning next. Yes, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with using a dual pass. It's just that when you have one pump, it's still, it's not saying you're putting a strain on the pump, but it's still hard to move around all the extra coolant because you only have one pump. But majority of people on one pump and they're not having issues. So it is what it is. Okay. 1 second, guys. What transmission could we swap out in the VR30? I know the stock one isn't that great. No, the stock one's actually, Zach, I don't know if you have, Garcia, I don't know if you had 3.7. The transmission in 3.7 is worse than the one in the 3.0T. The one in 3.0T can actually handle a lot of torque. It's just that we don't have a snappy transmission like a ZF. You click it and it just changes. So our gear shifts or gear changes are a little slower, but it's a good transmission when it comes to torque wise. But there's no real swap for us unless you want to somehow hit up CZP, Concept Z Performance, and see if they can try to help you put a 6-speed manual in there, because they did it on their q60. So that's another option. That could be another $2,000–$3,000 if you really, really want to have a manual. X-pipe or H-pipe? I honestly wouldn't know, Philip. I don't know. X-pipes are pretty good. H-pipes are really good. It's up to you. They all give a slightly different sound and changes the exhaust pulses from what I remember. But our exhaust is kind of designed like an X-pipe slightly. Peck, do you think anyone will do a GTR engine swap into a Q50? No, that's expensive. GTR motors are expensive. I don't see why they would spend all that extra money just to put in a Q50 and then have a 7-speed automatic. I doubt it. That person would just have to have money lying around, or they crashed their GTR and they bought their GTR back for so cheap because maybe the motor was built or something like that. And they're like, well, I don't want to buy another GTR. And they just have their Q50 just sitting there looking dumb. And they're like, I could just put it in there. But if they have the money, but I don't see anybody doing that. Does anybody have a Tesla unit, and is it worth it? At Jaren, to be quite honest, I don't own a unit. But from what I do, you can follow Insignia or Insigma. He has a YouTube channel, and he's literally worked with that company for like 3-4 years now for the Q50. And it seems like the revisions that they had are really good now. So, because before they didn't have enough memory, it crashed a lot of glitches, but it seemed like it's really good now. So definitely look into it. Radar Tour. Okay, Peck, a save up for 3.7. I have a Tesla screen. It was the first mod. Thanks later, Peck. Okay, hey, Boost, up rev ECU Tech tune. I want to make sure my car's a little faster, pops and cracks. What's your estimate price? Up rev ECU Tech. Well, if you're talking about 3.7, I believe you can tune on up rev. They're relatively the same prices. Most tuners use both. Honestly, I really wouldn't know which one's better than the next. They all depend on the tuner. They can all give you pops and crackles and everything like that. It's not too hard. So that's a very easy short answer. I would say that the tunes could range between 600 with the plug-in data loggers, to about $1,000 if you're going on an actual dyno. Okay, should I get a sport bumper on my Luxe? Why not, Lyric? Why not, bro? Throw it on there. No problem. Especially worth it. Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Do you see Infiniti becoming Nissan's flagship like Lexus is Toyota? I mean, that's how it's always been. I mean, Infiniti's part of Nissan, so I don't see why not. It's just that someone has sent me an email saying that they may even move the Infiniti's dealerships into the Nissan dealerships just to cut costs. And I was like, that kind of would make sense. So you go to Nissan dealership, but then they might have a section just for Infinitis. So I don't see why that won't work, but that's up to them though. Do you see Infiniti? Okay, cool. Are you going to blower valves on the new turbos? Actually, Ali, I have blower valves right now. I have eBay blower valves. They're like $20 a pop. But I never came out with a video about it because they're really cheap blower valves, and I just didn't want to come out video because I don't want you guys to go buy something and then you're driving the car and one of the blower valves gets stuck open. So I just wanted, so you're just losing boost. So I didn't want you guys to run into any issues. But at some point I'm gonna definitely come out with a proper blower valve system that's reliable. Mine is, I've got it reliable because I had to like work on it and everything like that to make it reliable. But that's all I can say right now when it comes to blow-up valves. But yes, I'm gonna aim to get blow-up valves for the future. I bought a 2011 Nissan Maxima intercooler for my last car. Now I have a 2050. Would it fit? I'm very confused. How did a Maxima have an intercooler? Excuse me, I'm confused. How did Maximas don't have intercoolers, bro? What are you saying to me? I'm just saying, like, talk to me, bro. Talk to me. Maximas don't have intercoolers, man. Journey. Hey, do modes like snow and eco still work like they're supposed to? Yes. Yes, the mod, they still work. Snow still works. Eco still works. Because eco is just a change in your pedal sensitivity, and it lags out the transmission. Snow, it just locks your car into 50-50. Standard is still standard. Sport is still sport, and Sport Plus is still Sport Plus. Appreciate the response. You got a Q60 too? No, at Ramos, I don't have a Q60. I'm looking to get a G37 6-speed manual Q60, but not the 3.0T, of course, the G37 version. What do you think about buying a used JB4? Perfectly fine. As long as it's working, no water damage, it's perfectly fine. It's just a device that you plug in. I'm just worried that the wires may be messed up or something, but I don't want to save up a couple. I do want to save a couple $100. Yeah, most people who are selling their JB4s usually upgrade to a full-fledged tune, or they're getting rid of the car. Seems like the product is pretty good. I don't understand how someone could mess up with JB4. It comes in a water seal package. I have my JB4 for what, almost 3 years now. Like, still works perfectly fine. So save a couple bucks. Just make sure you get a JB4, not a JB1. Some people hit me up and they actually end up buying a JB1, which is like the beta version of the JB4, so they don't have all the features. So yeah. What do you think about buying if it's possible, can you make a tutorial on how to install an Android Apple CarPlay? Silver, actually, no. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Silver. I would love to, but that would mean I would have to buy one and then install it. The one I had installed in my car, the company installed it for me. So no, I'm sorry, man. It's just, I really, no. Because I don't really, the only thing I really need from that stuff is honestly Waze. That's honestly it. And the one I have now, a NAVIKS unit that I have now, I'm going to take it out the car because I don't like it because it's not as intuitive as the newer ones on the market. So I'm probably going to take that one out and sell it or give it away. Or not, give it away maybe as a prize or something like that. I just don't like it for Android because, Android here, Android life. Do you have any plans on visiting Japan in the future? I would love to visit Japan. Since you're a big fan, I would love to. I just want to honestly wouldn't know where to visit in Japan and how to plot out visiting the Japan, like what parts. Because of course I'm gonna be a tourist, but if I go there, I gotta go, to the Nissan Infinity Museum. Like I have to go there for that, and I want to would love to just be around it, and I would love to meet people from the car scene over there with their bright ass lights, So I don't know, maybe in the future, you never know what the future may hold. You just gotta be positive. You never know. Infinity Nissan may send me an email one day like, hey, listen, Boots, we would love for you to just showcase one of our cars. And you never know what could happen. But I would love to visit Japan. I would like to visit a lot of places in the world, man. Anyone watching, listen, all of our pockets aren't that big. Some of us could go different places because it depends on how much money we make. But I think it's traveling and meeting different people and different cultures is like one of the best experiences in the world, because we're so used to our own little circles we're in. Like I'm in Brooklyn, New York, so I'm like, I know Brooklyn, New York, I know New York City. But when I go to, let's say, Miami, LA, Cincinnati, Texas, there's a totally slightly different way of living. And that's just America. When you go overseas in different languages and different foods, man, it's a good experience. And I think that's something that we all should do or aspire to do at some point in our life, if we can. Sorry for rambling there. Maybe maybe should actually followers. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I have a few people who actually do live overseas though, in different countries, that do contact me. They seem pretty cool. I would love to meet some of these people, man. I would love to. Good to know. So can I buy a name brand blow valve that's not as expensive? Yes, you can. The most important thing, Garcia, is I forgot the company's name. Shoot. But you can buy the Z1 Motorsports or the Concept Z blower valve kit. It doesn't come with blower valves. It's just the silicone couplings and the vacuum lines and stuff like that. Then you can purchase a blower valve with that 1-inch nipple, pretty much like a 1-inch nipple that's supposed to, I hate to do this on video, but the nipple goes into the silicone coupling, 1-inch nipple, and you can add your own blower valves. That's it. Blower valves are easy as long they all run up the vacuum line. You just need the silicone coupling with the 1-inch nipples. It's not that hard. So I think it's like $150 off the Z1 Motorsports or the Concept Z site, and then you could just do it on your own. It's really easy. If you're the type of guy who's handy with your hands and kind of know about cars and how to get away around it, you could get it done. Or you can buy the cheap I hate to say it on video, the HKS fake ones, the fake blower valves on eBay. They're like $30, $40. They're pretty much copies of the real version. They work too. I just want you guys to know they work just as fine as the real version. So if you want to do that, you can save money. You can buy the $150 silicone kit, and then you can spend like $40, $50 each on the blower valves, and you save like what, $300 doing it that way. It'll still work just as fine. That's it. Let me see. 1 second, guys. Where am I at now? Shoot, I don't even know where I'm at. Damn it. Ah, man. Shoot. Give me a second. Company. What company installs? Oh, the company that installed it for me was NAVIKS, because I'm in Brooklyn, New York. So it was like a promotional video. So they took care of it. But most Android units, you can pretty much install themselves. They would give you like some kind of installation guide, and majority of it is plug and play. So it's just matching up colors and stuff like that. Okay, go deep. It would be dope to go to Japan. I'll donate 150 if you went to Japan. At Peck, man, I would appreciate it. I want you to donate now, because I wouldn't even know how to even set up a trip to Japan and what part to visit and everything. Like I would need someone who lives over there who's like okay with the customs and to kind of like guide me, you know what I'm saying? And they also have to be a Nissan Infinity enthusiast. But I would love to visit different parts, man, 100%. But I appreciate the well wishes and everything. I love that, man. Thank you so much. You should check out Dustin Williams' videos. He did a Japan trip. Oh, that's cool. Motordyne, CATBACK exhaust, or ARC? I like ARC more. I definitely like ARC more. Mr. Rains, I definitely like ARC more. Wow. Oh wow, I've been on this chat for about 2 hours just hanging out with you guys, man. Wow. You guys just hanging out with me. I appreciate and love all you guys. Let me give you some updates on the channel because I've went through a lot of questions here. Updates on the channel. So the turbos, if you haven't seen the turbo video, I'm aiming to install these turbos in July. So that's another 2 months from now. So at that time that I'm getting these turbos installed, I'm also going to be looking to purchasing a second car for the channel. That's going to be the G37 6-speed manual coupe. Reason being is I'm an Infinity guy. I like Infinities. I do want to get back in the VQ realm. I do want a really reliable daily. Not saying that this car isn't reliable, but once you start modifying things like this, like changing turbos, you may run into issues. And I still have a day job. I still got to get places, and I don't want to have a car down trying to get fixed and figure it out. So it's more important for me to have a second car for the channel that, and also some of you guys are G guys. You have a 3.7. And my Q guys have 3.7s too. So some of the modifications that I do on the VQ D37 are the same for the Q50 33.7. So it'll give you guys the VQ content you want and need. And also you can follow that, that storyline for that car too. So that car is gonna start getting bolt-ons too. I'm gonna do like regular bolt-ons on that car. While that's getting modified, I'm gonna change up some parts on the Q, maybe a drive shaft, Zero Motorsports, motor mounts, the collars. I'll probably add maybe an end tank, the 2L AMS end tank to the Q50. I may end up going with the killer chiller unit for the Q50. The killer chiller, you guys are probably like, what is a killer chiller? Pretty much a killer chiller, all it does is it runs off the AC system and it uses refrigerant to cool off the heat exchanger coolant. It can bring it down to as low as 30 Fahrenheit. I'm talking about freezing cold. So I'm looking into possibly getting that done. Not really looking, I'm going to get it done on the Q50 because I don't want to deal with the 85. Not really. I don't really want to deal with meth. And I think this is one of the best options to have cooler charger temps without having to spend extra money on meth, not having to get tuned on meth. And I can add the end tank, which adds more coolant to the system. So that would make my car more consistent and have consistent power. Because most of you guys that are tuned right now on the 3.0 Ts, once it gets hot outside, you're losing power because the coolant is hotter. But if you have coolant temp that's 30 to 40 Fahrenheit in 100-degree weather, your car is still going to put out some good, consistent power, and then you could just flip the switch and it cools down the heat exchanger coolant again. So that's what I'm really necessarily looking to do with the Q50 and with the G, the second car. And I'm going to start plotting out some trips. Hopefully, once everything starts opening up in the next few weeks, I want my first trip to actually be to Dallas. Yes, I actually want to fly out to Dallas first and visit my boy Enthusiast POV. So if you guys don't know his channel, go check out his channel, Enthusiast POV. He has the silver Q60 with the red seats. He has the G37 now. He still has both cars, but I'm gonna go visit him. This good friend of mine, love the dude, and just want to hang out with him in Dallas, Texas. Me and him will probably set up a meet or something in Dallas. So I know some guys live in Austin and Houston might want to just drive down there and hang out with us for the day or whatever. We'll see what we can do. Maybe I'll work with Austin Infinity too, or maybe make something in Austin, Texas. We'll see what happens. But that's like one of the first places I want to visit. Other places, LA, Miami, Atlanta. I want to have a meet over here in New York City, tri-state area. Not too many other places really because I don't have a huge following there. And at that point, I know it's a lot of money, a lot of trips, a lot of money spent. But like I said earlier in this video, if you guys really want me to visit Ohio, right? And there's like 10 to 20 of y'all. And you're like, yo, Boost, we want you to come to Ohio. Yo, if you guys want to donate and buy me a ticket, I'll fly out there. I'll set up me. I don't mind. It could be $10 a head. I don't mind. I'll come. It's just that, I'm just one person with a regular day job. And this YouTube doesn't bring in all that type of money. Like bigger YouTubers, they make, you guys know what I'm talking about. These big YouTubers, they make like $3 to $4, $5 to $10,000 a month, even more than that. So they can fly out places. They can just go get the most expensive parts. They can do all that. They can change their cars up every three months and just make more money. But I'm just some regular dude on YouTube with a Q50 with a mom's car. But anyways, that's just some of the updates I want to give you guys, and I just want to keep making really good content for you guys. And I want you guys to remember too, my content isn't like the wow type of content of like racing and having clout videos. Like, you know, I want to start getting more into that because it brings more views. But my videos are mainly for resources. So I want you to give you guys information. People who watch my videos either want to own my car, want to own the VR30, or already own it and want to modify it or just do tinker with it, you know. And I have different stages of what I've done with the vehicle, so they could kind of say, you know what, I just want to do JB4 in stock. I did that. I just want to do full bolt-on with a tune. I did that. Oh, I want to go turbos. I want to change it, just get the car into turbos. I'm doing that. So I just want to document the journey. Same thing with the G37 too. So, you know, and I just want to just give that information. Also, the G37, reason why I want to do the G37, not only because I like the car, I always wanted the coupe. Also, there's really no big Infinity G37 channels. 370Z all day, every day. Everybody loves the G370Z. G37 is the same car, same exact chassis, just looks different. So I want to just actually be, when I get that car, that would also make me one of the biggest G37 YouTube channels too. So it's just kind of a way for me to grow the channel even more. And hopefully I could become a bigger channel, not in the sense of subscribers, but more viewership, because then I could do more instead of more events, do more with the cars, and just come with more entertainment rather than as much resourceful videos. All right. But anyways, appreciate you guys very much. I'm not checking out. I'm going to answer some more questions. I just wanted to give you guys that closeout, and I'm going to answer these last couple questions, and then I'm out. All right. All right. Go deep. All right. So, okay. Question. All right. So, Silver says, question, headlights or fog lights? My Q50 didn't come with them. Wow. What do you mean your Q50 didn't come with fog lights? What's going on here? Will the redsport spec fit? Okay, the redsport fog lights. I don't know if the headlights and fog lights fit, because I believe the headlights and fog lights are different. They have are slightly different, so the harnesses may not work. So that is my opinion. Honestly, I don't know if they probably use the same fog lights. But the headlights, I'm not too positive, because I believe the headlights have a different design on the inside, which means that I would assume that the harnesses could be slightly different. That's just my assumption, okay? But I never did that part before. Okay, will the real sports fit? Okay, would you recommend admin tuning for VR30? Adrian, Monsef is a great dude. Met him, laughed it up with him. Really good dude. Been in the BQ community for a while. He just started tuning VR30s last year. What I would say is this: like every guy who cuts hair, right? When you go to the barber shop and the guy just starts cutting hair, he's not gonna be as good, right? But if you go to the old time in the back, he probably cut over 10,000 heads. So I would say, if you feel if he's in your backyard, like let's say if Monsef is in Texas and he's in your backyard, you can actually walk up to him and say, what's up? Yes, get tuned by him, because you know that if anything goes wrong, if you need some help, he's there. But if you're like way far away and you have to get a remote tune, I would say maybe just go with a few other companies that are more experienced in it, that's been in this realm for a lot longer than him. He's a great dude. He's a good tuner. I'm not saying he's not good on ECUtech. It's just that I just like you cut hair, I don't think he's tuned enough VR30s yet. He may not like me saying that. I have much love for him, but I'm just being honest, because people don't like me either. They just say, you know, yo, Boost, who's he talking about? He knows nothing. You know, it is what it is. Like, I'm not an engine builder. You know, I don't do that. I'm only speaking from the experience of what I've done to my car, and speaking on experience of my friends who own this car. That's it. I'm just reciprocating that information to you guys. That's all I'm doing. Let me see. How much did RT turbos cost? $22.50. That's before car charge and before taxes. And did you have to give them your stock turbos? Yes, you can give them your stock turbos. They charge you $800 core charge for if you have a non-red sport, and I think $1,000 core charge if you have a red sport. Once you give them back the old ones and they're good, they'll refund you that money back. So $2,250 plus 800, or $2,250 plus 1,000, and you get back that 1,000 or 800. We appreciate everything you do. Appreciate that very much, Peck. Thoughts on racing differential? Kit, sorry I just got here. Oh, Diamond, that's okay, man. If you have a rear-wheel drive, you need it. Do it. It's an expensive piece, but from what everybody's telling me, it is important. And also with my G37, when I get it, I am looking to get a full-fledged LSD for it. It's expensive. It's probably going to cost at least 20% of the car, but the differential on the 6-speed manual G37, it's crap. Once it heats up, it turns to open diff. So I want a proper rear differential on my G37. So I would recommend that 100% from everybody I spoke to. All-wheel drive, there's a few people who do have it all-wheel drive. I'm not saying it's not good, but one way to mitigate tire spin is the ABS system. That's what it's there for. So if you, the best way to mitigate it, rather than get a rear diff, is just stickier, wider tires. That would help with wheel spin if you're all-wheel drive. But if you're all-wheel drive, you definitely need it. What's the horsepower you can see on 3.0? What's the most horsepower can you see are 3. Okay, Peck. At this current moment, the highest horsepower stock block, stock transmission, and upgraded turbos that is still running is George and his black q60. He did 607, 608 to the wheels. That's about 700 horsepower to the crank. That car was tuned by AMW Tuning. Hussein was the tuner of that car at AMW Tuning in Texas. So if you want to hit him up, you definitely can. That car did 607, 608 to the wheels. He was on E60 or E50 mix, so he was on E85. But that's pretty good. That's a lot. That's a lot higher than a 300 horsepower car. Let me see. Boost, what's up? What's going on, Curry, man? I know you're jumping into the chat late, man. I hope you had a great day, brother. Peck, do you think they're going to release the 400Z, and will it hurt Infinity, or do you think the 400Z interior will be better and more up to date? Look at what Infinity is doing with their vehicles, right? I mean, Nissan is doing with their vehicles right now. Majority of the time, whatever is in their Sentra, Maxima, Ultima is probably going to be in their Z car. So they're probably going to have the same similar layout, steering wheel, paddle shifters, and tech and stuff like that. And I would assume they'll probably try to give it the same 370Z treatment, like looking at oil temperature, boost gauges and stuff. They'll probably try to give some of that stuff to us in the 400Z. And I don't think it would hurt Infinity at all, because people don't come to Infinity for a sports car. They come to Infinity for luxury and cheap performance-ish. But people will go get the 370Z because it's a Z car, period. And now it has twin turbos, V6, and they'll probably drop that 9-speed automatic in it. If they do, that car is going to be fun. And you can actually get in it. The Toyota Supra is a really small car. Like, if you really look at it, it's a really small, tiny car. The Z is going to be a bigger car for bigger, taller people. So I see people getting the Zs more than the Supras. Supras don't even sell a lot, even though it has so much hype. Supras have a lot of hype. Nobody buys a car. Kia Stinger, a lot of hype. Nobody buys a car. And those are good cars, but people are not buying them because the price margin. They're still too expensive for the average day person. Reigns is going on. Okay, do you think that they'll ever come out with a Q80? It's supposed to be GTR engine. No, I doubt they'll come out with it. I doubt they're gonna keep reusing the VR38. I think the VR38 is only gonna be in a GTR and GTR exclusively only. And if they do somehow decide to design another VR38, they're probably gonna make it a hybrid and it's gonna go in a GTR. So it's gonna be a hybrid motor with a GTR VR38. But the Q80, doubt it. I would assume that it'll either be full electric or hybrid. And if it is a hybrid, it's either gonna have our 3.0T motor with a hybrid system or that 2.0T motor with the hybrid system. But I doubt they use a 2.0T because it'll be underpowered. So I would assume maybe a 3.0 T, but we'll see. That's if Infinity has enough money to do anything because they're broke. Okay, 250 is salvaged, front end hit. They were basically annihilated and crashed. Yeah, bro, Silver, you can just buy fog lights from eBay or something, bro. They're cheap, they're very affordable, they're plentiful. A lot of people crash these cars. Unfortunately, they crash the front of the car, but you might find some that aren't damaged. Those Q50 fogs have disconnected. Okay. Do you think because of Goosen, Infinity will die, or do you think the money that he took would influence the Q50, Q60 shortcomings? At Peck, pretty much Peck is talking about Goosen. Pretty much he was like the CEO or CFO of Nissan, Infinity, Renault, and not Mitsubishi, but you know, part owner of it or whatever. And he took a lot of money out the company. He laundered a lot of money out of and siphoned a lot of money out. But I don't think that's why that they didn't go forward. Honestly, I think it was just one of those things where they just looked at it as, should we use this more expensive part or should we use this cheaper part? And they were like, no. Or they said, should we revise this car again? They said no, because people are still buying it. So what I realized is it's not only Infinity that does this. Lexus does this too. Acura has done it. They use some of these cars for longer because it's easier for them to keep selling the same. If you like eating the same cereal, right, you're going to keep buying that cereal. So people are still buying 370Zs. I don't know why. Someone's going to the dealer right now and buying a 370Z for $35,000. Brand new one. Why are they doing that? Same thing for the GTR. People are going to the dealer right now getting a brand new GTR Premium 2020 for over $100,000, like $110,000, $115,000. Why? Why? It's the same exact car from 2012, 2013, because that's when they revised the turbos. It's the same exact car. Why? Because people are still fanboys or they love those specific vehicles. So with the Maximas, Ultimas, Sentras, Versas, people come to Infinity and Nissan, Q50s, Q60s and stuff, because they want affordable leasing. So just make the car, rather than change the car every 5 years, they said, you know what, let's change it up every 7, 8, 9 years. People are going to still buy it. But yeah, that whole everything needs to be changed right now. I think Nissan is definitely the ones changing the first. I do like how some of the newer Nissans look, and the interiors aren't bad. But the fact that a fully loaded Sentra is way nicer than the Q50 on the inside makes me upset. Makes me upset. But yeah, let me see. I'm about to lock out a few more of these questions and I'm out, guys. Do you think the Q50 3.0T is a good car for a teenager? Hunter, you've been watching this video all this whole time, man. I appreciate you, Hunter. You've been hanging out with me for like the last 2.5 hours. Appreciate you. And everyone else watching from the start, I appreciate you guys. You're probably cooking in the back, eating, drinking, taking your kids out, having fun, just chilling, having a stag, a beer. I appreciate you guys just hanging out with me. But the 3.0T, it's a mom's car, bro. Q50 is a mom's car, which means it's pretty safe. You're not going to get in trouble. It's not like your mother or your father's going to get like, oh, that car's a fast horsepower car. No, if you were going to say, yo, I want to go get a Mustang, they will be like, no. But if you're like, can I get the Q50? They'll be like, yeah, sure. That car is nothing. You look at, they're like, oh, safe. They wouldn't care. And then next minute, they're like, wow, his car is pretty loud and fast. So it's a pretty safe car, and I know a good amount of people who crashed it, and they're still living till today. But doesn't mean that we haven't lost people in Q50s or just anybody in any car. You can crash a car at 15 miles an hour and die. Literally. Most people that die in car crashes are under 30 miles an hour. That's insane. I thought it was all above 30. Like, I think it said 70-80% of fatal car crashes are under 30 miles an hour. But they lower our speed limits. I don't know. But it's a pretty good safe car, brother. If you hop on a co-part, laugh, okay, 313, this is where I got to look at the pics, okay, okay, cool. Okay, cool, Hunter, all cars are good. Blah, blah. See, look, Silver, I appreciate you very much for joining in and chiming in, man. Hey, Boost, is it safe to go with lower downpipes plus CATBACK exhaust without tune? Yes, perfectly fine at XV. Reason being is your car is still catted, so you're not going to run into any oxygen sensor codes unless you mess up the installation. Second thing is you can do CATBACK because it's good. Honestly, you'll gain a little bit of, not really gain, but you'll have more low-end torque. You may have slightly higher horsepower peaks because you alleviate a lot of the back pressure on the turbos. A lot of people have been running untuned on a CATBACK exhaust for the 3.0T. Not the 3.7, guys. Do not get test pipes in 3.7 and think that you won't run into a check engine light. You will. You will not have a good time. You can get a CATBACK exhaust on the 3.7 and be good, but not test pipes and think you'll be just good and no oxygen sensor codes, okay? And finally, brother, with your videos, you really helping me fix up this project, including ideas for mods and whatnot. Yo, Silver, man, I appreciate it. I'm glad I can help you. The thing is, man, you guys keep me going. I always say this in my videos. I say it mostly on IG, but I try to say it on this videos a lot more. You guys keep me going. Like, even if I have a small amount of you guys watching me and I'm helping you guys out, I'm helping you along your journey with this car. Or if you're looking to get into this car. Or some of you people who don't even have this car, your friend might have this car, and you're like, why is this mom car beating my Mustang? You know, and you might want to learn about it. I have a lot of Mopar guys who actually follow my channel, and I love Mopars. I love 392s. I love Hellcats. I think the cars are great. I think the build quality isn't as good as it should be, but I think those cars are great. But, you know, you got to start a rivalry. You know, it makes it fun. It makes it good. So, you know, I love a lot of cars, man, out there. There's really no car that I really dislike other than Toyota Camry Ubers. I'm not really the car. It's just the Uber driver in a Toyota Camry. They're just really bad drivers. And I would say a Buick Sabri or Regal, and I don't mean the old Buick Regal. I'm talking about like the 2005, 2004 Buick Regal or Century. I hate those cars on the road. I think they need to be crushed and burnt, every person that drives it. And one of y'all probably drove one of those two cars, because it's just, oh, yeah, I got some terrible drivers. But anyways, Peck said, thoughts about the Black S? No, I don't think it's going to see light of day, period. Infinity's too broke, and I don't think anybody's going to drop 100 grand on that car. And I don't think Infinity wants to outshadow the GTR, because people will look at that and say, oh my God, that car's a beast, and go and buy it. But then the GTR sales may go down. They don't want to take away from the GTR. They want to be close to the GTR, but they don't want to take away the buyers. People who can't afford a GTR, honestly, right now, if you really can't afford a GTR, right, but you want to stay with Nissan Infinity, yo, go get a Q60 Redsport. That's the closest you're going to get, honestly. And if you want the closest to a GTR, but in a four-door mom's car, you get a Q50. But I doubt it would ever produce. Yeah, man. So, guys, I'm going to go now. I had a great time with you guys. It's been 2.5 hours. We laughed, we talked, we joked, we cried. We talked about 392s. We talked about sold Hellcats. I gave you guys updates. If you guys want to contact me, you already know what to contact me at. BoostinMotion on IG, BoostinMotion on Facebook, and boostinmotion@gmail.com. You can comment on some of these videos, but I really don't answer all these comments because there's a lot of them. So that's why I like to have you guys email me, and I usually get back to you guys within 24, 48 hours, 72 hours, have a regular day life. And otherwise than that, man, I appreciate and love all you guys so much. Hopefully I get to meet at least 20% of you, some of my viewers, in the next year. This path is great. I'm enjoying this. I never thought this would become where it is now. I just started this to just help you guys on, you know, modifying your car. So it's been fun. If you guys want to support me and support the channel, I'm always going to sit there and say this. If you want to donate, you don't have to. But if you want to donate, I have a Cash App at boostinmotion. Money sign boostinmotion. Everything is in the bio and everything. If you want to purchase some merch, boostinmotion. You're looking at this whole time. I have T-shirts. I guess the sweaters are not going to sell like that, and the hoodies are not going to sell like that right now because, you know, look what time it is. It's getting hot outside, depending on where you live. So most likely, you guys will buy the T-shirts. And I also have cell phone cases. Cell phone case. I don't really like it as much, though. So I wouldn't really recommend getting it because it doesn't have full coverage if you take a look. But it is still a nice case. And if you guys just, you know, want to do that. But, yeah, man. Don't forget to always like and comment. Just watch all the videos from start to finish. You guys don't know that that is the most free thing you guys can do for me. Like literally just watch the video from start to finish. You don't have to watch. You could be out cooking in the kitchen and have me talking in the living room. And the kid's like, who's that, daddy? Oh, that's boostinmotion. He's beating people in his mom's car. You know what I'm saying? And that stuff helps. It helps out so much. And I'm just glad I can help you guys on this journey. I'm glad I could give you guys good content. I'm glad I could be there just to be the guy you can randomly text at 3 a.m. and ask about, do you like cottage cheese or cream cheese? I don't know why you guys send me these questions. It's weird sometimes, but it's fun, and I still answer it back. So otherwise than that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Wait, Larry said I just got a JB4 tune and a heat exchanger. I'm loving shocking 392s and 5.0 owners. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So you guys have a good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you. You guys have a good day. Appreciate it.